pretty early. We got 2 more minutes. We
Mm-hmm.
got Mselboim Ryu. Hello. Okay, I think everything is
Rui,
ready
welcome
here.
in. Welcome in,
Rui.
everyone.
Welcome in. Welcome. Oh, I love the unicorn horn you gave. Oh, man.
It's so cute.
She's
What
part of the
happened to
forest now.
me? I look possessed.
You look like a precious forest creature, like elves should be.
Yeah, my question, Rui, what happened to me?
No, I was talking about you. Ella is you're the forest, and Ella is the woodcutter. Who's coming to
Oh,
chop the
God.
forest? So, you want to start with some introductions? Tell us who you are. Who's gonna start? You know what? I'll start. Hey everyone, surprise attack. I'm Mselboim. I'm a D20 mimic VTuber. I'm doing D&D tarot readings. Today I'm in a dice form, and I'm joined by my co-host, Nix. Who are you?
I'm good. I'm Olender. I am a half light elf, half dark elf. I'm definitely not a mushroom, and I'm definitely not sitting on a mushroom on my end. I definitely got the times wrong today because daylight savings, it's differently.
I put the wrong pin message.
Yeah.
Thank you. How did this happen? Oh, I know how. Okay. Nick sounds different.
Dreams, welcome in. Welcome in,
Why does he-
Dreams.
How
Do I sound different?
Guess that's the Discord quality.
It must be Discord quality.
Oh yeah. Ella has a microphone just in front of her face.
Just in my face. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can have
Best
the best.
microphone quality.
And the guest has a freaking mic in her face.
I'm sorry, Lordo. And Ella, give us an
Derailed
introduction.
DC
Who are
call,
you?
yeah.
Hi. I am Ella, that gamer. Not that gamer, but that gamer. I'm a variety VTuber streamer. I play variety games because I just like to game.
And Ella is Tengu, cursed to be a puppy. She's kind of similar to Nyx.
No, it's not.
Nyx is an elf, cursed to be a mushroom.
That's not how it is.
And I'm a
That's not
mimic,
how it is
cursed-
either.
Tengu and
Cursed to
give
be a
him
dice.
a puppy. You're
My narrative is
cursed.
more interesting.
Oh, cursed!
Everything is cursed.
They're handing him out, for real estate.
Also certified cutie by Mimic. You forgot that, Ella. I
yeah.
only collab with cute tubers. There's no reason
Cute
to
tubers.
collab with other. Yeah, only cute tubers in my streams.
That's why he reached out to me first, and then he didn't even make plans. We had to wing it. Our first collab.
What?
Oh, you
yeah,
know
yeah,
what? That
our
was the
first
same with
collab.
our collab. We really
Yeah.
just, after like a 5-minute conversation, he was like, "Are you free right now?"
We had a week. He asked me like a week prior to our collab.
I think mine was like 5 minutes before.
I
Wow.
evolved. Yeah, there was like a few months between your collabs, so I learned that you know what, you don't need to plan. You just go ahead and do it.
Just do it.
So how's your week? What have you been up to?
I was actually sick.
Oh no. Are you feeling better?
Oh yeah, I'm
Mhm.
much better now, but
Did you drink and sleep?
No.
Did you drink and sleep? That's what you do when you sick. Drink, sleep, drink, sleep,
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, I was like all over the place. Like it was started last week. It was like a sinus infection, and then I got better, and then all of a sudden I got worse, and then I got better again. It was so weird.
How about you, Nix? How's your week?
My week, I've just been on spring break, and so it's just kind of been like a nice week. It's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, relaxful.
I fixed your eyes.
You fix my eyes.
Ella is a guest today, yeah. Oh, Meshi is also a guest. Meshi, my cat has been like, going inside, outside, inside, outside. It was like a spring and it was rain yesterday. And she's like, she doesn't know what's happening, what's going on. I think brings us to our first topic of today. Do you touch grass? Are you a healthy streamer?
Yeah, that is a great question, actually, going through that. I guess, Ella, have you have you touched grass after becoming better? Because staying cooped up all day doesn't actually help.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I am always physical. I am always outside at least 5 times out of the week. Yeah. 'Cause
I thought you were to say day, and I was just like, that's kind of a lot. You must have a lot of free time.
But I do have like vacation. Like I haven't had a vacation from my actual job in a year and a half, but I do have vacations from VTubing. If I ever feel like I'm getting sick or if I feel like I cannot handle sitting in one spot for too long or anything like that, I usually do put out a message and say, hey, I'm gonna cancel stream today. I gotta take care of myself. I'm one of the people that always tell other VTubers and other streamers your health is important. So if you don't feel that you can do it, it's okay to cancel a stream. It's okay to not get in front of that computer and just go out and do something. Or even sit on your couch, for God's sake, and take a break.
Watch some television, for God's sake.
Or even just kind of like open a window and sit near it just so that you get that natural sunlight. Like even before stream, like it was kind of dark out earlier, but I still like opened my curtain so that I could have like natural light come in. Because like just doing that even makes a really big difference.
Since I don't leave the house too much, but I'm doing my best to do it whenever I can. So, university, for example, I only take physical classes and not Zoom classes as much as possible, so I can get out, meet people, and I have psychotherapy every week. So I go there. It's another town, and then after psychotherapy session, I go outside and like, walk for an hour, heal myself a bit, energize the body, drink a lot of water, and I have this thing that every time I get a sub, no, please chat. Every time I get a sub, I do 10 jumping jacks. So this week in D&D, Sordek went crazy and gave me like 120 subs. I don't know why. I don't know how.
So did you complete all those jumping jacks in one setting, or are you still going?
No, I ended up doing like 1,000 jumping jacks on stream after D&D.
Oh my gosh.
I put the face cam so everyone can see me sweat. And yesterday, I was my whole body is in pain right now. By the way,
Oh,
it's good
stretch?
pain. Yeah, I did stretches. Yeah, it's good pain. Yesterday, I played Doki Doki Literature Club with Izu and Luna Haru, and we finished the game. It was great. We got some good clips of them screaming. But during the collab, someone gave a sub to Izu, and she was like joking, "I'm gonna do like Mimiku, and I'm gonna do squats or something." So we started. I told, okay, Izu's now gonna do squats, 5 squats per sub, and Sordek came in and gave her like 30 subs.
Oh no.
And then Kaito from her community gave 10 more, and she ended up doing like 100 jumping jacks, 50 squats, 50 push-ups, 25 push-ups. That was great. She was so sweaty.
Yeah, but it's good to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I have not done that because of the fact that I know that people can get a little bit like that. They tend to just spam things like the hydrate. I don't have hydrate on my streams because people would spam hydrate, and you can actually hurt yourself drinking too much water.
Yep, I can relate there. I had to limit the amount of hydrates that people could redeem on my stream because there was one time it was I actually went back and I counted it. It was redeemed 46 times in a 3.5 hour, 4 hour period.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Dream doesn't know what you mean. Yeah, I smell a suspect.
You do smell a suspect.
Anthony's right here. What I did is I put a cooldown of 3 minutes on hydrate, I think. So I
Mm-hmm.
get a hydrate every 3 minutes, and I did the same for all the spammable redeems, the cheap ones like stretch and posture, or roll my luck or tarot card. I put a small cooldown on all of them. Oh my god,
Mr.
Mr.
Teaspoons,
Teaspoon,
I am sorry for making you wait so long, but thank you for the raid, Mr. Teaspoons.
Mr. Teaspoon. Oh my god.
Thank
Welcome,
you, Mr.
Raiders.
Teaspoons.
Just
Thank
in
you for the
time.
raid. He's been waiting for a
Hello.
while, actually.
What? Oh my god.
Aw.
Thank you so much. What a great surprise. Hello, Raiders. I'm Mselboim, a D20 mimic VTuber. We have here Nix, who's an elf mushroom VTuber, and we have Ella.gamer. Welcome. We have Ella.gamer, who's a Tengu puppy VTuber. And this is our third episode of Nameless VTuber Podcast with Ella as a special guest. You can see the topic down there. We're talking about do you touch grass as a healthy streamer? Are you a healthy streamer? Well, you just said something. We talked about the hydrate, about limiting yourself, not limiting yourself. Hello, ladies, you're muted. Oh, you're here.
Oh, no, we're here, we're
I'm
here.
Oh, you're
I'm
just
here.
listening to me.
I'm
Okay.
We're
Like, what's happening? Am I alone?
No, I didn't want to interrupt. You were
Yo.
talking.
So yeah,
By the
we
way,
talked about that.
high
Hello,
five.
everyone.
Yeah.
What is that glow? Oh, it's a. Oh, that's so cool. I have the new colors on OBS. So now Raiders get a yellow square.
Oh,
It's
I
so
did set that
cool.
up on my end, so I'll have to see it
Okay.
when I stream later today.
And Velen is a first-time Raider chat. So the square is like glowing
like
half pink, half yellow. That is so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
It is amazing. I love it. I love that they did the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps the streamer understand what's going on, who's speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the OBS update. Although every time they have an update in anything, I'm like, what broke now? What's gonna break
What
this
broke?
time?
That's true. That's true.
Hmm. So, aside from this hydrate, we talked about that hydrate. You can drink too much. I usually take really small sips.
I'm
just
the
really
opposite, where I actually like take a good sip.
Hmm. But I know that people's gonna redeem it a lot. So I do run through like let's see, how much liter is that bottle? 500. I would say I drink at least 1 liter of water.
Okay.
During streaming every
Oh.
day.
Well, I guess you do stream for long periods of time.
Mm.
Here, I
And
can
for the
barely break
hydrate-
4 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you for the hydrate. I can
But
barely
it's
break
good.
4 hours.
Or my streams are usually like almost 2 hours. Sometimes I'll do a 3-hour stream. But right now I need to fix this thing on my OBS where it like disconnects and reconnects at 2 hours and 3 minutes. And I've looked it up everywhere and I've tried the different things that it says to do, but so far it hasn't done it.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting. I had like issues with that, but I know that it was like my internet.
I went and checked my router and everything. The
That's
last
been
thing I
happening
need
to a
to
few
do
people.
is
Mm.
plug in my modem. I guess unplug my router and modem and replug them in. I keep forgetting to do that because I'm supposed to do it like early in the morning when nobody's awake, so that way I know I'm not disrupting the other
Oh,
people
yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
I have this thing since I started streaming that at least once a day my internet cuts out randomly. And then it takes like a minute for the modem to reconnect the router and everything. But after that, about 5 minutes after that, only OBS just randomly disconnects and reconnects. And then it's another minute of dead stream. And it comes in couples every time, and I can't figure this out.
That's
I don't know, I
weird.
hope they. Well, I got used to it. My community also knows. Oh yeah, he's gonna be back in a minute. And
Yeah,
then,
at this point, like if you have scuff, and like we've talked about this before, like if you have scuff, by now your community knows about it. Like on my end, I have a command for Wi-Fi and a command for tech issues because that's just how often I get issues.
Mm.
Oh,
I think we can move on from this to the next topic, which is how demanding is video being? Physical, mental, and emotional.
Ooh,
I
who
don't
wants to go
disagree with
first?
it.
Let's see. So, as a VTuber, um, we deal with, I think, a lot of stuff behind the scenes that the viewers don't always see, and we might go a bit to parasocial relationship like we talked about last week, um, because when I before I became a streamer, I didn't know how taxing that is. You see someone on this virtual stage and you think, oh, it's so simple. They're having so much fun. They're playing with their friends. The Fall Guys collab I did on Saturday, for example, was it looks really fun, really great. But behind the scenes, there was so much planning and so much preparation and so many cancels and last moment scuff that we needed to change. A lot of pressure. There was some very small drama behind the scenes that thankfully was solved very quickly. Um, at this point, I feel like I know how to deal with all the weird things that happen. But just that you see this, you don't know how much time was invested in it. For example, you see this beautiful scene behind us. Like everything here, almost everything is movable. This cup, for example, or these horns, or the PNGs, the topics, the names. Everything here is movable.
Hmm.
So everything is like, you see this. Everything is like built slowly,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's not. I destroyed it. Why? Why did I move it? Control Z.
No.
Control Z saved me. Another Hydra. Thank you.
Thank you for the hydrate.
Mm. And the thing is, we don't even know how much time it costs. When I started being a VTuber, I wanted to do a thumbnail every stream, and I did many, many great thumbnails. Uh, I'll put some on the stream so people can see. I loved making thumbnails. Unfortunately, making thumbnails, I was very perfectionist, and it took a lot of time. It could take like 2 hours to make a thumbnail, and it cost a lot of physical energy, a lot of mental energy, a lot of time. So at one point, I just had to stop doing those and trust the YouTube thumbnail generator instead.
I've been using like the YouTube thumbnail generator for sure. It saves so much time.
Is it like an AI generator? Or...
It just take a random screenshot from the stream.
Yeah, it will take like random screenshots and it'll ask you which one do you like the most, and then you just kind of pick it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if there's
Thumbnails
like,
are always so good, Mimic.
I
mm-hmm.
loved making those so much. It was so much fun to make them.
A
Um,
lot of time. And a
Yeah,
lot
you have to
of
consider the time too.
yes, this it looks like it take 2 minutes, but it could take 2 hours easily.
Cause like even like when we were making the overlay for this, the logo and all of the like getting the assets for everything,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think for me like Mimic made the logo, but I made the
Yeah.
overlay, and the overlay itself maybe took me, even though it looks very simple, there was a lot of like editing, seeing what we liked, what we didn't like, how
Mm-hmm.
we would fit into it. It probably took me at least 2.5 hours just to make the overlay,
Here's
even
one
though
great
it's
example.
simple.
That my second collab ever, I played with Miko. We played Super Bunnyman, and I really wanted our faces to be inside the bunny suits,
hmm.
and I wanted the text, the D20 Fruit Bat collab. I wanted it to look like the logo of the game, and it took me like 2 hours to figure out how to do it. Now I know how to do it, so I learned how to stamp in Photoshop and so on. But um, it was really fun. But then you become a graphic designer. Same if you want to make clips or highlights for your YouTube channel. It
Mm-hmm.
takes so long. I made I think 2 or 3 highlight videos of my streams, and just take like 10 hours of sitting down and making them.
Oh yeah. I used to do the same thing. I used to make compilations of my streams and upload them to YouTube, which I do have some still there. I just stopped doing it because it took so much time just for a 15-minute video
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
create one, and I was getting back logged for a lot of other things I wanted to do. So I was like, this is taking too much time. So I threw it out. I still have my YouTube and I still tell people, oh yeah, it's still there, but it's inactive. But you can watch whatever videos are on there. But now I switched over to TikTok because making a minute-and-a-half video takes a lot less time than making a 15-minute video.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel it's a lot better for me because I do not have a lot of time to do a lot of these things because VTubing is a hobby, and that's why I said it's not really that stressful for me because it's more I'm a hobby streamer,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't take the full it doesn't take up my entire life. I do make plans, I do try to be creative and everything like that, and I do edit videos and post videos and I have fun with it. But if it seems like it's not being fun anymore, then I think to myself, okay, should I really be doing this then? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I went ahead and dropped the YouTube. I might come back and start doing YouTube shorts because they're just like basically TikToks. But I think that's the main thing that people need to remember is like if you're doing this as a hobby, it should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It should be something that relaxes you, something that makes you excited, or something that makes you happy. And if it's not doing that anymore, if it's becoming stressful and it's becoming hard and emotional, then that's when you need to realize, hey, this isn't a hobby anymore. And you need to step back and take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that reminds me. I know another streamer who they actually have a sticky note like taped on to like their monitor so they can see it that says Twitch is not a job, it's a hobby.
Aw.
Because they have to constantly remember that like what they're doing is they're doing it for fun. They're not doing it as a job, which I think is really important to think about. Because I know Mimic, you want to have this as a long-term thing. Like you want this to be what you
I
do in the
treat this.
future.
I treat this as a full-time job,
Mm-hmm.
even though it doesn't pay as much as a full-time job. Not even close.
Yeah. Whereas Ella and I, we're kind of just doing this as hobbies. Like this isn't what we intend to do for forever. Like it's just something that we're doing because we want to.
Yeah.
And for us, it's important to remember that streaming is not first on our list.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it comes down to like our health, our mental health, our emotional health, that comes first before streaming. And that's one thing that a lot of people tend to neglect. There's some people who I've seen where they continue to stream even though they're either physically, mentally, or emotionally unwell, and they
Yeah.
just keep on pushing through to the point where like their community gets worried about them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas recently, like some people who I know, they have like a little bump in the road, they have something going on, and they know to say, I'm gonna take a break for X period of time, but I'll be back. Because I feel as if I can't bring you the content I normally would, I'm gonna step back for a moment and come back when I'm ready. And I think that's the mature thing to do, is just being honest with your community, telling them like, hey, I'm not feeling good, or there's things going on, I can't stream today, and that's just how it's gonna be, but I'll be back.
Mm.
Because I think it's worse to give half your effort than to it's basically just worse to give half of your effort into something that you really care about when you could give full effort at another time.
Just remember to water the tree. Yeah. That's why I stopped streaming. Copium. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you two are doing this as a hobby, and actually most VTubers I collab with do it as a hobby. That's why I'm surrounded by people who, like you two, constantly tell me, Mimic, go to sleep, Mimic, take a rest, Mimic, drink,
Yeah.
Mimic, eat. And I said that to people as well. And used to, there was a time that I could get really frustrated if things didn't go like I wanted to, because if I treat this as a full-time job, then if something goes wrong, it messes up the job, the perfection of that. But now I feel like I treat it as a full-time job, but I understand that I treat it like that. Other people don't. So If things go wrong, suddenly it's okay. It's part of that job. It's just a part of it. So um, now, when there's physical, mental, emotional stuff that's happening that can tax your energy, I just treat it as another part of the job. It's just a part of it, and it doesn't mean it needs to ruin my fun. So instead of taking a break, I'm really bad with breaks because if I take a break, it's gonna be really hard for me to come back, and I don't want that. I really like this momentum. So whenever something too much, too heavy, too demanding happens, I overflood myself with good stuff. I'd say the opposite of copium. I recently had a chat with someone who told me that there's a game that they were invited to play in a collab, but they did not like the game and they didn't know what to do. And they asked me, should I hope you? They asked me if they should join the collab anyway. It reminds me of me being invited to Among Us collabs. I don't like Among Us. I don't like it because I played Resistance or Avalon, which is a board game, which is the same concept as Among Us, and I played it hundreds of hours. So Among Us is not new to me. It's basically the same, but in a video game. In addition, there's 10 people in voice chat screaming at each other. And in all of Among Us collabs that I've done, I didn't know anyone. I feel like I know Izu invited me to an Among Us collab many months ago, and I knew only Izu. I didn't know anyone else. So it becomes like it's not fun. It's overwhelming. Um, so that person asked me, should I play that game with people or not? And recently, what I found that I'm doing is instead of hiding and or running away or taking a break, I make myself busy with other things. So I would say I would immediately schedule a collab with someone else, like with Ella or with Nix, and then I say stuff like, "Sorry, I have D&D."
I'm an excuse.
Me
You're
too,
not
apparently.
You're not you're not excuses. You're a top priority. That's the thing.
Top priority. So
Yeah,
that way you can get away from having to play a game.
because I have a list of people that all the people that I usually collab with, I know comfort zone exactly. I
Yeah.
know I know who answers in Discord, who answers on Twitter, who I need to contact through other media like Facebook. I know who answers now. I know who will answer the next day. I know who will answer next week. I know who might never answer. So um, I know Izu, for example, is really busy. So if I want a collab today, right now, sudden collab, Izu is most likely not the person to contact. Um, then again, there are people like other people that I can just call them right now and maybe they will answer and most likely they will join me on stream because that's the comfort people.
Yeah, because I
And
feel like everyone has, like, you have those few people who you know that you can probably, like, text them and they'll say, like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, like, I can hop onto a collab with you right now. Or, like, yeah, like, I can hop on a call with you for a little bit. But then there's people
Exactly.
you know that, like, you'll text them and maybe you won't hear from them in, like, 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh, that's
Exactly.
a long time. I could never do that.
I have a funny story with Solly Bunny, who she did a drawing. I actually showed you the two drawings. Uh, we talked a week ago, and I want to show everyone the drawing as well. We talked a week before that, and I sent her a message, and then she fell asleep during the message. And the next morning, she didn't see the message because Discord told her that she read it.
Oh
So
no.
she didn't answer for a week, and I thought, okay, she probably doesn't want to talk to me. I insulted her. I don't know why. Or maybe she's busy. The first thought is she's really busy. That's the first thought. She's really, really busy right now. She doesn't have time to talk or whatever. This is Solly Bunny. Made is doing a stream this week, and
Hmm.
then a few days ago, she suddenly contacted
Oh.
me. Mimic, I'm so sorry. I didn't see the message. And I'm sitting there and thinking, why doesn't he message me? Did I insult him? What's up? Why doesn't he message me? And then I went to her stream and said hi. And she's thinking to herself, why is he messaging me on stream and not on Discord? Why he hates me now? What is going on?
Aw.
And then she felt so bad that we did a collab like, the next day, and she drew me. And I'm
That's so
wondering how
cute.
many things like that happen. We're so overwhelmed
Right.
with we think we're so overconscious and overthinking. What does that person think of us, and why is that person not contacting me? And now
Hmm.
I feel like I need to say good morning to Solibani every day, or she's thinking that I hate her. So,
Oh no.
I'll do it right now. Good morning.
I feel like that brings up like a kind of a good point because I know there's some people who like you're in multiple servers, you get like pings from like the servers. I personally I will mark it as red even though if I haven't looked at it because normally it's like a ping to everyone. But then there's other people who just leave it there and it piles up. So then it kind of makes me
Mm.
think like I wonder if that person's like have if they have so many notifications that it just kind of gets flooded. Because I know I've definitely had that a few times where my inbox was just flooded because it was just a random day and just everyone decided to message me. And there was a couple people who like I opened their message, I said I was gonna respond, but because it didn't show me that notification anymore, I forgot to message them back for the whole day. And I went back and I said, I am so sorry. I forgot to respond. I was not ignoring you. There was a lot going on.
Not the one bully on red notice. I mute
Yeah.
all of this. If you go to Discord, you two, right now, how many notifications that you didn't read do you have?
3. Well, I have
Ella?
yet to yet to open your live notification. So now I have 2.
Were we talking about Discord pings?
Yeah,
Just
how
like
many
how
Discord notifications do you have right now?
yeah.
Over 200.
Okay, so see, there's like that's like the perfect definition of what I'm talking about. I have 2, which is just a message from someone because I clear out all of my pings from each server. But then we have people who
Gotta go. Thank you, Mr. Teaspoon. Thank you so much. Have an
thank
amazing
you, Mr.
day.
Teaspoons. I'm sorry for keeping you up so late, but your stream was fun. TC 28 pings. Yeah,
28
see,
pings.
I feel like when I have over 10 pings, I kind of get like a little bit of anxiety from like seeing so many pings, and so I have to
Mm-hmm.
clear it out. Cause then like in my mind, because my inbox is cluttered, my mind is cluttered, so I have to clear them out.
Anthony brings a good point. I woke up today and Anthony's D&D group, they kind of unlocked the end times of the D&D campaign, and with all the recent events with Ella's group and their group and so on. And now they have like I woke up, there's like 70 new messages,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I don't want to sit down and read all of that. Just skim through and like, okay, if something is important, they will tell me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. I well, I have it set up to where I only get a ping if it's an at everyone or at
mm-hmm,
me,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually don't pay attention to the everyone ones, but I do check the ones that are directed at me right away, like
mm-hmm.
those ones that
Yeah,
need to
I do the
be
same thing.
at.
Like the
But
at
that's why I have
everyone's.
over
Mm-hmm.
200 because they're all they're for not me. They're not me specifically.
I think like another thing is like I have Discord on my taskbar, and so like if I get a message I'll see it right away, but then if it's from like if I have like more than like 10, like I don't know if someone's like trying to get my attention right away, because sometimes that's what it is. It's like someone just like needs my attention or like needs to send me
Mm-hmm.
something instantly. So like when I see that like when I see the number 1, 2, 3 come up, I'm just like, okay, I have a message from someone. It could be from a server, but most likely it's from someone who needs to talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
which is also why I respond to messages decently quickly. Is because
Which I
my
think,
inbox is not flooded.
and most likely you have like priority. If I message
Yeah.
you, it's probably about the show, so you need
Mm-hmm.
to see it right now. If someone that
Yeah.
that leads us to the mental part and emotional part. I talked recently with another VTuber who gets a lot of vent in their DMs, a lot of trauma dumping. And if they feel like if they're not answering in DM, then those people will come to their Twitch and ask them stuff like, why aren't you answering DMs? Which, to everyone out there, don't ask people on stream to look at your DMs. I
That's
mean,
just
it's
weird.
understandable if someone has 1,000 notifications and most likely don't
Mm-hmm.
see it. If someone tells me, hey, can you look at DMs? I will immediately look and answer because most likely I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go to, let's say Nix, no, Nix and Ella, we were good friends. Let's say I'm going to collab with, I don't know. It's weird to go to a Twitch stream and trauma dump or vent someone and then do that in DMs or use other people as therapists, basically.
Mm. Yeah.
And I feel like streamers and I would even say VTubers more than regular streamers deal with that a bit more because we are basically a voice with a cute character, and many VTubers are very comfy. They're comfy streamers. They're very supportive. Like Ella and Nix, they're super supportive. You watch their streams, just wholesome from toe to head.
Yeah, wholesome. You're funny.
It is. You are wholesome. You have an ex, but you are wholesome. You're very supportive. You're very fun to listen to. You too. And if someone needs your help, you will be there and talk with them. And um, and this person who used to kind of vent in my streams, and I would do my best to support. And I feel like people saw that, and then another person did that. So I tried to support, and another person did that and tried to support. And that, in combining with the tarot readings that I'm doing, kind of made my chat this venting corner and trauma dumping because Mimic can deal with anything, and Mimic can give a suggestion for anything. And people started, my chat started to be this dumpster. And the problem with the dumpster is that other chatters would start talking with the person who's giving you the trauma dump, and it distracts you from the stream, and that heavies your mental and emotional energies, and that is even more demanding. And I remember after such a stream, I would sit there and think to myself, oh my god, I do not need to deal with that. On top of the physical demands, now I have this mental and emotional demand that I have to deal with other people's problems. So I started saying stuff like, I'm not a therapist, I don't want to give you a bad advice. And it took a bit of time, but slowly I managed to filter that out. And now I don't have that kind of thing in my chat at all.
Mm.
Yes, I always thank everybody for the bones they throw at me. Sometimes it's a good stress reliever for those that are having a bad day.
Mm.
But I understand that completely because you have told me about like people coming in and making the chat about what they're going through and everything, and trying to explain that we are streamers, we are VTubers, we are not therapists. We do not have the certifications to help you in any mental capacity. We can try to sympathize, and we can try to make you feel a little better and maybe forget about a little bit about what you're going through. But if you truly need help, it's best to seek a professional and not somebody who's streaming.
My biggest
Yeah.
fear is to give a wrong advice, or someone in chat giving a wrong advice. Like, I don't want to take responsibility of something like that. Let's take relationship for example. I think it's easier to deal with relationship issues than with mental issues. Let's say someone tells me I have a problem with my partner, I don't know what I should do, and someone in chat tells them dump your partner,
Oh my God.
or maybe someone tells them no, you have to forgive your partner and suffer what they're doing.
Mm.
So even when I'm doing tarot reading, I constantly say, I'm not professional. I'm not a therapist. Seek real help and so on. Hey, Spade. Hello.
And I think that's actually like it's really interesting because I find that a lot and this is like my personal view and opinion, is like I feel like I find a lot of people who do come into the chat and they trauma dump or they vent, um they do it for the attention, because as soon as they come in and they dump all of that, it's kind of you instantly have to give them attention, whether that be good attention or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because then another
And
thing
that,
is, like, if they really wanted to tell you about it, they could have, if you talk to them often, if it's something that that is of concern to you, that you want someone's advice for, you could have easily gone to them to DMs and say like, hey, can I get your advice on this, instead of go to the stream in front of who knows how many people, dump your trauma to everyone there, and then get the streamer's attention. Whereas you could have just easily gone through DMs and say like, hey, can I get some advice about this situation?
I've seen a case of someone going to a stream venting about something. The streamer told them to not do it on stream, so they went to my stream and did the same. And the streamer went after them and told them, "Hey, I told you not, so you go to Mimic stream? What the hell?"
Yeah.
And they really needed help at that moment, at that point, and they go to the people that they know. I think that it ends with us, right? The fish stinks from the head, and whatever is happening with our community, it's our responsibility to tell no to people. Hey, Tori, good morning. A good morrow. A bottle of water. Oh, good noon. Um, and I think that if someone, I mean, the one on stream is one thing. If someone follows us after the stream to DMs and starts to vent after you stream 2 hours, I stream 12 hours. It doesn't really matter. After a stream, you want to deal with other stuff in your personal life. You wanna eat, you wanna rest, you wanna do everything that people don't see or know that you're doing in your personal life, like study. Um, and then I remember a few times people asking me if I wanna, hey, do you wanna play Apex right now? Do you wanna play Valorant? And that's off stream after 12 hours of stream. At first, I used to say like, "Oh, thank you, but I just gotta go to a meeting. I gotta go this. I just have something." Kind of lie, you know. Today, I just say, "Bruh, I'm after 12 hours of stream. I sleep and eat." And
Yeah.
I think it's really important that we reflect. We clearly say when we're uncomfortable with stuff, when we don't want to do stuff, because if we don't clearly say that, we kind of give the okay for more people to dump their mental stuff on us as streamers.
Yeah, I definitely learned it the hard way. And I've learned from my mistake, where it's really important to state your uncomfortableness as soon as it arises, or else that uncomfortableness will definitely lead to much more dramatic stuff later down the road that is definitely unnecessary.
Unnecessary is the word. I also remember some events of drama that happens between two friends of mine. Like two friends suddenly have a drama, and they kind of force you to pick a side.
Oh yeah. I've
And
been through that.
naturally, yeah, and it happens so early as well. I think many VTubers I talk to, it happens to them very early on, like a month or 2 months after. Usually in like small communities or groups. And every time something like that happens, I try to be a mediator and mediate between the sides. And every single
Mm.
time that I try to mediate, it explodes.
Yeah. You can't be
And
a mediator.
you get hurt. You're the one who gets hurt. Um,
I
So yeah,
think
because then
it's
it's just
important to realize something, that everybody needs to realize that being a VTuber, and you come in and you vent and everything like that, you have to realize that that energy is being put on that person, and you need to think to yourself, is this a good energy or a bad energy that you're putting into this person that is trusting in you to come in and spend time with them, because that's what you're doing. And you don't want to put more bad energy into that person, because the more you flood that streamer with the bad energy is going to put pressure on them, and eventually you're going to start getting messages that say, hey, I need to take a mental break, or hey, I'm getting burned out, because this all does affect them. They are a person. So try not to come into streams with those negative feelings and those negative happenings, expecting to just unload on somebody, because that somebody also has their own things that they're dealing with, and it could just pile on eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. At the end, though, I think it's our responsibility to say no when stuff like that happen. Kill it immediately. Someone vents, someone trauma dumps. Can I tell you about something bad that happened? No, it's. I'm not a therapist, um, and it's not something easy to say. But to be honest, it's our stage, and we don't want people to make it about them. But we cannot control people, right? Could be minors who come in chat, and there could be people who didn't read the rules. Could be all kind of just toxic people in general. Can tell me, but can't promise. I can't promise I'll care. It's one of my personal favorites. You can tell me. Well, I gotta say it in British. That story. You can tell me, but I can't promise I'll care. A bottle of water. Mm.
Nix, you had something you were going to say? I'm sorry, I
No,
interrupted.
no, 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 you're fine, you're fine. I kind of lost my train of thought because I was thinking about other things.
Oh,
Like, no, don't
Yeah.
worry, don't worry.
Anyway, what I wanted. Let's sum this subject and move on to the next one. More practice on the accent. Yeah,
More
yeah,
practice
yeah.
on
I
the
will.
accents.
A British accent. I'm not good at that.
you need more
um,
practice on your British accent, sweetie.
more practice.
I believe
A
so as
love.
well.
I just need to use the bloody hell, love. And use what?
I do believe that you need some more practice there.
I do. I do. So yeah, I think the thing I take from that is that it's our responsibility as streamers to say to stop those kind of things,
Mhm.
and that's really important. Um, I think that sometimes people see us as a better venting scapegoat than normal streamers, than camera streamers, because we don't have a face, right? We like this mysterious voice with an anime character that there's a lot of anonymity, and if they vent to us or trauma dump, it's okay. It's like a bot. By the way, a great suggestion to everyone. There's amazing AI bots out there in Google. When I need to vent or trauma dump, I go to a bot and I type everything. It feels really good. It's really great, and the bots sometimes give really good answers. So, highly
Huh.
recommend doing that.
That's so interesting.
It is very interesting. And that there are some that are mobile bots that you can
Yeah.
like they learn off of you and what is the best way
hmm
to talk to you and give you advice and
There's
everything.
Chat GPT is a really good. Yeah, hey Tori. Oh, I feel sad. You should try Chat GPT. Yes, collection one. Yeah, Tori and I are like
Right.
one brain cell
Um,
at this point.
Tori is absolutely right as well about the mods. It's good to have people that you trust and that care about you as a mod, not just some random person you meet right away. Like, uh, it's always good to have at least one of your mods being somebody that you totally trust with your feelings and know you, because they know your
hmm
social cues and when you feel uncomfortable, because then they will know what to do at the right time. For instance, uh, banning or timing somebody out, or telling them, hey, I'm giving you a warning, you're making
hmm
them uncomfortable, I'm going to time you out. I have at least one person as a mod that I feel very comfortable with and that I trust fully to know what my, because my cues are not very you don't really see them, because I'm usually comfortable about a lot of things. I let a lot of things slide. I'm really good at turning over a situation because I've had that experience in my life through work and everything else. So my cues are not very valid. You don't really see them, but he's able to tell, and that's why I made him a mod, because I wanted to make sure I had somebody who at least knew me enough to know my social cues and everything. And he's been very, very good at that.
Hmm. I wanna, if you don't mind, I wanna jump to 7 right now.
7.
Yeah. Think,
7 right away.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and then we go back because
Okay, okay,
Okay.
go
I
there.
feel like that's a great segue for the next parts. So,
okay.
here's some news to everyone. Ella is actually a mother,
Hmm.
and her sons appear on stream sometimes.
Yep, they don't appear, but you do hear
Yeah,
their voice.
yeah, you hear them voice. Um, so
I
what
know
can
no
you make
longer.
I know a few mother VTubers at this point. Um, and the question is, what can you make? What can make you lose followers? And do you need those followers in the first place? And I've been thinking about mother VTubers because I know some cases of VTubers revealing that they are in a relationship or that they have children, and losing followers for that.
I
And
don't think I've lost any followers actually. In fact, I think that we're in a state where people are more attracted to mother VTubers
the MILFs.
because they're very homey, they're very understanding, they're very comforting. Um, they know how to do that maternal instinct type vibe. And I think a lot of people in this generations and a little bit in the newer generations really like that,
Mm.
because it's a lot of mental instability has becoming very aware, especially with the COVID that happened. People were more beside themselves because of their mental state, so they become more apt to welcoming the fact that somebody is a mother or motherly.
I'm not disagreeing with you anyway, but I think like my viewpoints in mother VTubers, like I'm all for anyone and everyone who wants to be a VTuber, but I've definitely seen people give hate to VTubers who are parents. And
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
it definitely surprises me a lot because I feel like no matter what age, you should be able to have any hobby you want. Even if you are a mother with children, if anything, that should you should be given an award because first of all, having children and being able to stream, having your
Mm.
own hobbies while having children is just something else.
Oh, and
And
they love it. They love it too.
You gotta
props goes
stretch,
to everyone.
stretch, ladies.
Okay, stretch.
And Tori
I
says
did it.
she lost some Twitter followers for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
hydrate.
I feel like a lot of people they want to be honest with their community because your family is much more of a priority than streaming, but you'd also love to incorporate your family into streaming.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people, not everyone, not everyone, but like a lot of people who do hear as soon as like you have a child or you have a partner or just anything along the line of like you have someone else in your life, they kind of start to back off because they now feel as if they are no longer the important ones.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
like you going into someone's stream, they give you the attention, they talk to you, and so the viewer then thinks that I have the streamer's attention and only I have their attention because they're talking to me. But then suddenly, um, a significant other comes in, a child comes in, and they hear it on stream. Then their mindset suddenly thinks is like, I'm no longer the center of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing that plays into the fact of it is like, I am no longer the center of attention, and I will never be the center of attention because that person has one, a significant other, or two, has a child.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that there is very interesting.
Yeah, they they tend to people tend to go to those they believe are non-attached because they like the facade that they are the attachment, that they are their significant other in chat. Because that's what it is. Watching other VTubers, watching streamers is a way to escape, and it's kind of like picking up a book or watching a TV, but you're more interacted with the streamer because you can talk to them, you can sit there and react with them, and so like Boy, you're distracting me.
I saw that movement too. I'm just like, oh, the mushroom gets it now. That works too.
Tori asked to sneak his eyes, so I moved it. It looks really good on the
So-
mushroom, though.
It does. It does.
so so I get what you're saying, because like as soon as the person who wants that escape finds out, oh, they have a significant other, so I can't be that significant other, they drop it and move on to the next one, because by all means there are so many VTubers and streamers that they have a possible choice of. And sometimes people are more attracted to smaller streamers because they don't have as many people in chat to try to talk over.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just told me that they were listening to our podcast while driving to work, which just warms my heart because this is exactly why we wanted this time.
Yeah. It's a nice time when like people are like driving to work, waking up. They can listen to something while they're getting ready for school, work, life, whatever it is. It's a nice time.
But I've always been open about, how many children I have. I have 2 boys. I've always been open about my life. I live in a house with 2 other adults. My setup is out in the living room, so it's very loud sometimes. And yes, I do get distracted easy. Okay, guys, I can't help it. I have ADD, so if something distracts me, it distracts me.
And you know what? That's fair because everyone has distractions in life. Like not too long ago, I had something crash down from my roof and I muted myself.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh. Well, yeah, we
and we're doing so many things in the background as well. Yeah, we chat in the background.
Yeah, and like you can't help that life gets in the way of streaming, because as we said earlier, streaming is not priority. Streaming is a hobby, and so if other things come first, other things come first.
I really feel like I'm a studio manager now. Like I need to. This is a work, and I need to make sure that everything works. The topic title here, and Nix and Ella, and the chat, the stuff that happens in the background. I love it. Losing these people is not really a loss. Those kind of viewers will only end up being pushy and uncomfortable in chat. I stand by what Tori says. Exactly.
Yeah.
If I wanted to add an example, let's say that you do a face reveal, and people don't like your face, right? Or, you know what? I'll take something that disturbs me. I don't like smoking. I hate the smell of smoking. I remember, it was like 2 years ago, I think. There was a VTuber that did a face stream, like a really small one. And it was a night they played, I don't know, Apex or Fortnite or something, and they smoked like a chimney. They had an ashtray, just got bigger and bigger. And I was like, oh my god, that's the person behind just a chimney. And I just couldn't see that person the same way, which is weird, right? And then it doesn't other stuff doesn't really bother me like that, but the question why does it bother me is so weird because I'm doing my thesis right now about VTubers, and I'm reading all kind of disturbing articles and research. And one thing that keeps coming back is men, and I specifically say men following women VTubers or streamers many times because they seek relationship. And that's something that I thought I suspected as much, but now I have articles to back that claim up.
Yeah.
So women do not do that. It's something that men do. They follow streamers, ASMR streamers, YouTubers, female VTubers because in the back of their mind they seek a relationship. and they think maybe one day that will be my actual wife. And that's a really stupid. I mean, you didn't meet that person, you don't know anything about them, and one day you discover that person has a boyfriend, or she has sex, or she's smoking, or she's, I don't know, obese, or she's not the ethnicity or race or color that you imagined her, or maybe her hairstyle or dress is not what you thought, or maybe she's a dog person and not a cat person, and suddenly it breaks the immersion, and you in the good case you unfollow her. In the worst case, a person can go to Twitter and cancel her or shout out or scream, "Oh, that person, she has a boyfriend. She's a fake streamer. She's not a good person," and so on. So, did
I
you
thought
did you have
I
any
thought
experience like that, or did you see any experience like that?
I well, when it came to doing the stream and everything, I laid out a plan. I actually did think about a lot of these things because I did see some of it happening to other streamers and other VTubers, and I thought to myself, well, I'll probably never become so popular, but it's good to lay out a plan beforehand because I thought to myself, okay, I am going to release a face reveal early. I will do another one eventually if people don't remember it. But I'm not going to sit there and hide my face. So I did a face reveal early. So people already knew what I look like. People already know if they follow my Instagram, they already know what I look like. I made it a point
Mm-hmm.
not not to hide anything really from myself, but also made it a point that my VTuber persona is a separate identity from my actual person. Sure, I do have my personality and everything else into my persona, but my pup is a character that I created. She has her own backstory, she has her own lore. So the pup itself is its own type of person, but I myself have somebody in the background, and I make it a point to every once in a while reintroduce her.
Ella said person. I clipped that.
Persona. I'm not a kitty. I'm a puppy.
You have cat ears though.
I was gonna say, don't you have cat ears?
They were the only ears they would let me have. Puppy ears can be small too, okay? Shiba Inu's ears look like kitty ears. But yes, I made it a point to kind of make sure that every once in a while, I reintroduce things of myself into my community so that way it's not a shocker. It's not something that I'm hiding, and it's something that somebody can't sit there later on and say, "Oh my gosh, can you believe this person is like this or that?" And it's like, or can you believe she's a mom of two? Yeah, well, guess what? Everybody knows that already. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't like that, that's your problem. And as far as when it comes to followers, I'm not really watching the number. Like once in a while, I'll be like, "Oh, wow, I just hit this, milestone that people make a big deal about." And I'll share it on, Twitter and stuff, but I really don't pay attention to the number. And if I lose followers, I don't realize it.
And I think that's honestly a good thing. It's like just not paying attention to the numbers. And you make a really good point that like reintroducing certain things every once in a while for the new people who have come in, who have joined, because it doesn't come to your mind until you see like a new person come in and they stay for a while, and then you say something and they're shocked. And so it's really good to just remind the community of like certain things. Like I know I remind my community of like, oh, sometimes I can't stream because I have school or I have work.
Oh, ignore
And
that. Do it later. Later. Look at
and
DMs later.
and it's just kind of like you have to like remind people like I have a job or I have a life outside of streaming. Like it's not just you.
Yeah.
And there's things that I have to deal with or that other people have to deal with, and it's just good to remind them because some people are new, some people forget, some people weren't there during the time you said it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like Ella, I no, well, even more than Ella, I do a face stream every time I do tarot. I post my face on Twitter all the time, my cat, and it's really important for me to. I have another VTuber when we talk about the doxing. They are really afraid of revealing information about themselves, and I say, oh, I'm the opposite. I'm doxing myself nonstop uh, because I don't want people to make a big deal out of it. I'm
You should have a docs command
a
in
dox.
your chat. How many times have Mimic doxed himself today?
Yeah, I just saw baby pictures of me the other day on stream, and when I use Word, it says my full name at the top left, which is Michael. It's not really that different, and I don't see myself as a different person. I'm the same, you know. I'm Michael. Now I'm Mimic. Ha ha ha. I'm this dice changing anime character, but maybe it's because I'm in a country that where I'm not afraid to dox myself. Because
Mhm.
unlike in America, I know that in Israel, most likely, there's a much lower chance of me being swatted or kidnapped or something like that. Especially because I'm a man and not a woman. If I'm in Japan or in America and I'm a woman, I would never ever dox myself because there are actually dangers out there. These people that we talked about that can unfollow you, they can also. There's two cases of streamers or idols who have been stabbed in the street in Japan. In America, people have been swatted many times. It's kind of crazy to think about the concept of swatting. Um, so that's completely different. I feel a lot more safe here, and because I'm a man, so I feel like I can do whatever I say. And I'm kind of building my own persona as maybe, I don't know, in 50 years, maybe I'll be famous. And then I can use all of that. This is where it started. I built myself. My books, the same name, Mselboim. So it goes with me. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
like revealing everything so that nobody will be surprised.
And I think like it
Let's say.
really depends too, because like you're not scared of like putting your face out there either, and like you
Mm-hmm.
want this to be long term. I think it's different for someone who wants it to be short term, and it
Yes.
also like depends too on what your career is outside of streaming, and if you want that to be known to the public.
Mhm. And I suppose we can always just remember that not everyone thinks the same way. Like Mimic said, there are many people who wish to keep their personal life completely hidden,
Mm-hmm.
completely separate from their persona that they created for VTubing. And that's understandable and that should be respected as well. So it's always important to ask, when you're collabing with somebody, hey, what am I allowed to talk about and not allowed to talk about? The do's and don'ts before collabing with people. And some people are like myself. I'm just like, hey, I'm good with anything. Don't even worry about. I was first time collabing with Mimic. He he accidentally showed my face, and people are like, oh my god, she's so cute and everything. But then some people are like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that, Mimic. And Mimic almost had a panic attack, and I had to tell him, hey, it's okay. I've already done that. It's fine.
I didn't even
That's why I didn't
know.
make a big deal.
I, I learned a big lesson for that because I was sharing window capture.
Hmm.
And when you click on a big picture on Discord, it pops in as the immediate window capture and show it to everyone.
Hmm.
And I didn't know that. And Ella sent me a picture of herself during the stream,
Hmm.
and I opened it and it shows to everyone, but I didn't see that it shows to everyone. Only like an
Mm.
hour
Maybe it was
later,
a good picture.
yeah, an hour later, then we started talking about it, and I was like, "What? Nobody saw that." And she's like, "No, everybody saw it." I was so ashamed. The stream is still privated until today.
Yeah, it was fine because I have like I said, I have shown my face plenty of times. I always make sure to put a warning and everything though, because I know that even chatters or viewers or followers, they also have this mindset of they don't want to see the person behind the persona, that they want to keep the facade going. And they can get very, like, I don't know what the best word is to describe it, but they can be very hurt by people breaking immersion. So it's always good to
Mm-hmm.
warn people, hey, this is an immersion break. So if you don't want to see this, don't look at it. Um, but yeah, I've noticed that quite a bit, that some people have unfollowed only because of the immersion break, not because they don't like the
Mm,
person behind the character, but just because they did it, and it's their choice. It's understandable
mm.
because that's how they want things to be. But there's also that fact that if you're going to immersion break, you best be realizing that there are people out there who take it very seriously.
I feel like whenever I post a fit pic, which I do as a joke sometimes, I lose like 10 followers. It's just funny. There's usually I don't care. There's one VTuber that I followed since her debut, since her picture, and I commented on her and I rated her many times. And over time, I grew up to be 4 times her size. Um, and I really tried to reach out to her on Twitter and Discord. One day, I managed to make her follow me. She just never read DMs. Finally, she read one, and we scheduled a collab, and it never happened. And slowly, I felt like she's trying to, she maybe she doesn't feel comfortable. I don't know. Maybe she has many people ask for a collab. Maybe she doesn't do collabs. I don't know. And one day, after I re-debuted as my human form, she unfollowed me, and she doesn't follow many people. She has like 100 people that she follows, and she unfollowed me, and I felt like, oh man, is it because of my human model? She doesn't like it, maybe. I don't know,
Mm,
and maybe she doesn't recognize who I am anymore because I changed the model.
mm,
So I finally let it go. You know, we move on.
yeah.
I unfollowed her and just move on, and that's it. But sometimes you can. I think that's the only case of me revealing something that may have made some people unfollow me. I remember a story of Mori Calliope from Hololive. One day, someone asked her what's her persona, and she didn't know what a fairy or persona is. So she just said like a monkey or something. And she
Mhm.
says she lost about 1,000 or is it 10,000 followers in a day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And that's probably, it could have been one, people not liking the fact that she said she was this particular animal, or two, because people sometimes, people are particular about whether or not they like furries.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could have been simply that she didn't know what a furry was, and
Mm-hmm.
that too could have caused it.
Mm-hmm. There's so many things that will make a person unfollow you. It's just really a question of like, what is the line too? But then at the same time, you kind of have to think like, is it really worth for them to follow me if this one comment or this one thing that they didn't like made them feel the need to unfollow me? Do I really need that kind of person who's going to get hurt by everything I say in my streams constantly?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, that's another thing to think about.
It's really hard to constantly filter yourself and try to satisfy everyone. I
Mm-hmm.
think it comes down to do whatever you feel comfortable with. And if people who unfollow you, you don't need them in your life.
Exactly.
5 months ago, I had some arguments with some VTuber friends that I used to collab with, and I ended up leaving everyone behind. And they left me, and it was very uncomfortable. And I started losing viewers and followers from that specific group of friends. But I felt like, you know what? It's okay. I just gotta find new people that I can trust. So I started unfollowing every person who was even retweeting anything from those people, just completely disconnecting myself from them and surrounding myself by new people. I found Nix, and there's Ella, and Peony and Alichi and many other people that I now collab with on a regular basis, and I love them and I trust them, and it's completely different. It's much better. If you look at my Twitch half a year sum, you can see that in November, around November, October, there's a big dive. Like I get half the viewers suddenly. 1 month, half the viewers. And then slowly, very slowly goes back up. And only now I managed to catch up to what I was before.
Mm.
Um, and the thing is that I have completely different viewers. Very few people, like Factorial Dragon is here. He used to be back then. And Ella, we collabed many months ago as well. But the majority of people are different people. And I guess it will keep happening, you know?
Oh
Something will
yeah.
happen. You will lose followers, you gain new followers, some stay, some leave. It's just a part of that.
It's
And
just
it's
a
good.
cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a cycle that you have to accept. Like, there's gonna be people who leave. There's gonna be people who they have something come up and then they kind of just never return to Twitch. And then there's just
Nah.
some people who they want to take a break from Twitch, and once they take a break they realize that they don't want to ever come back, and you sometimes you just kind of lose followers naturally because that's just how life is. But then you
Mhm.
lose those people, but then you'll gain new people. It's that saying of when one door closes, another one opens.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think looking at it with that kind of mindset makes things better because um, knowing that someone might leave because of what you said, but that saying itself could also bring in 10 new people.
Hmm. Yeah. Exactly. And those people that you will get, the new people, will be much better than those who left you because of some circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very true.
So, you want to move on to the next subject?
Don't
Let's
say
see.
let's move on to the which one do you want to go on to next actually?
I want a good segue, which I think 5 is a good segue, right?
Yes.
So, we're going to talk about face streams. Have you done them? What do you think about them?
So I haven't done a face stream yet. However, when I hit 100 a while back, I did do a hand cam stream, and I'm doing another one at 400 actually. And that kind of goes back to like I'm doing another hand cam because there's a lot more people who missed the first one, and so I now feel like I want to do another hand cam for the people who recently joined my community. But I don't think I will ever do a face cam. I'll be honest.
I will be honest too. I don't plan on doing a face cam ever. Only because when I first started streaming, I started streaming mute. Then I worked my way up because unbeknownst and unbelievably, I actually was very, very shy. Very I had a lot of anxiety in like big groups and everything like that. So I like because I'm an introvert. I'm an extro introvert, but I'm more introvert than ever. Uh,
Extra
can
introvert,
you
not an
believe?
extra introvert.
Yeah. So when I started streaming and doing videos. I first started doing YouTube videos, but I started doing them for my kids because they started school and they missed watching me play video games. And the only time I played video games was when they were in school because it was my time. I didn't have to worry about, the kids and wondering if they are getting into anything or anything like that. And it made them miss it very much because they enjoyed watching me play. They enjoyed what I'd say and everything like that. And sometimes I even did the whole not plugged in controller and watched them play with me. So I started doing YouTube videos for them to watch when they got home, and then I started streaming, and I worked my way up from mute to vocal, and I was at a I guess a wall because I was like I really don't want to do a cam I really didn't want to do it. I was too nervous to do it. I even bought a cam and never used it, and I was just like, "Oh, I don't think I can do this." And then a friend introduced me to VTubing, and I was like, "They can see me. I can interact with them and everything, but they don't see me." Which made me really happy, and then I was like, "Oh, I can be creative with this and use this as a creative outlet and create a persona and all the all this other stuff," and it got me excited to actually do it. And now I'm just like having the time of my life. That's why it's more of a hobby, because I'm having so much fun with it. And I don't want to stress myself out doing a cam. And maybe a hand one, because I do plan on trying to do like a model, like putting together a model on stream, but
Ambivert.
ambivert.
I'm an ambivert actually.
Yeah. So, but I see your point of view, Nick,
Mhm.
and I don't think I could ever do a face one, but I wouldn't mind doing a hand one.
Mm. And that's really a shame because both of them look really okay. Just look, both of them good looking, beautiful and gorgeous. So it's like I sometimes wonder what's the reason. Is it privacy? Is it shyness? A combination of things? Self-aware? Because I do face cams all the time. Whenever I do a Twitch stream, I do a face cam. In a way, I feel like I want to be a normal streamer instead of a VTuber. I really like this anime culture and doing this all kind of crazy anime stuff. But I also want to show my face. I feel like it's more, it's better interaction. And I don't need to deal with VTube Studio, which takes so much resources, and I don't need to deal with the location of the camera and the phone. But then I do need to deal with my teeth and my hair and the background and everything that, not wearing a pajama on stream, and some people stream naked. I don't
What?
do it, but some people
Oh
stream
my
naked
god,
or like in underwear.
never.
Oh
Or
no, no,
some
uh-uh.
some people, God forbid, some people don't have air conditioning, and it's really hot.
Oh, oh,
And
poor thing.
yeah, you need
If
rose
we
petals falling down now with this smooth talking.
if we
It just
kind
so
of like,
happened that I did a video chat with both of them.
yeah.
Um, and
Mhm,
it's not
yeah.
like they're not like monstrous, hideous, or something.
In fact, the first thing Mimic said when we did a face uh talk, he was all like, "You look so young."
That's what people tell me usually. Oh my God, you look like a
Mimic
20.
does look
Oh.
really young. I'm not gonna lie.
Praise Nix. Let's praise both of them. Both of them adorable, so fun, so full of trust and happiness and wholesomeness. It's just that there's like a, I don't know, 10, 15 people that I really trust right now. These are like at the top. These two, Nix and Ella, just came out of nowhere, both of them, in a way. And it's just, it's so, it's a breath of fresh air to have trustworthy people in this community. For example, right? I don't think Ella or Nix will ever screenshot my DMs and send it to someone. I don't think they will ever do that.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
But there are people who has done that to me. People that I really trusted and they have took screenshots, put them out of context and sent to other people.
Oh, that's awful. That's so that is so under the belt and low.
Yeah. At this point, if someone screenshots me, it's like I immediately disconnect any association with them. I just completely lose my trust at that point. That's it. Done. If you want to lose my trust immediately, screenshots. I'm talking about serious stuff, right? Screenshot me out of context. We're done. And it's only because I've been hurt in the past with stuff like that, and it's a breath of fresh air in a way to meet people that you can really really trust. And
Yeah.
so, and I see that with a face stream. When I
Mm.
face stream with people, it's like a big hint. Okay, that person is a real person. They trust me. Although
Mhm.
I have been betrayed in the past by people who I did face stream with. So it's still not a 100% guarantee, but it's a big sin. I
Mhm.
am 36. I'm gonna be 37 in a month, actually. 420. That's the best VTuber birthday, actually. 420.
Yeah. I think you've talked about that before too, the whole big
Yeah, we have a command. 420
Give a
command.
command. Oh my god, that's so cute.
That is cute.
But Ella,
Have you done? So you two, Nix, you've done a hand stream.
I've done a hand stream, but kind of like backtracking to our first podcast of like why VTubing now is had I started any earlier, I actually would be streaming with my face. But it would
Mm.
not be VTubing at all. I would be a regular streamer. But the Wi-Fi was not compatible at that time, so that plan got pushed away. And then like things happen in life that um I think my community knows this already is like I've had creeps in my in IRL.
Mhm.
I don't want to deal with that again. And I think being able to mitigate that by not having my face on stream would help a lot.
Ditto.
Mm.
Ditto, Nix. I've had to deal with, in fact, my Instagram, I used to do like maybe a selfie once in a while to help myself be more comfortable with exposing my face. But then I would get DM'd by, I guess they're rhinos, but they're like people wanting sugar babies, asking me to be their sugar baby. And it wasn't like just maybe one or two, it'd be several. And I would ban each one of them. But it got to the point where I really have not done a selfie on my Instagram for a long time. I think my birthday, which is September 11th, so back in September of last year was I think the last time I did my selfie. I might have done another one, but
Mm.
it was more like I stopped doing them as a post and more as a the story because the story comes down after 24 hours. So then I don't
Mm.
have to worry about it.
Yeah, because
But
even
yeah,
on my
that
personal
yeah.
Instagram, I don't remember the last time I did a selfie. It's been a while, and I think like VTubing has definitely like also made me like refrain from like posting selfies anywhere because of that tiny little fear in the back of my head that says be careful, you might dox yourself one day.
Mm. That actually leads us,
Mhm.
I think, to the next topic, the number 6, which is: have you revealed yourself to friends, family? Who knows about you being a VTuber, and how do they react?
Ella, do you want to go first?
Oh yeah, sure. My immediate family, my both my boys know I'm a VTuber. They think it's amazing, and one of my sons even started streaming. I don't think he's ever gonna become a VTuber. He was talking about it, but I think he's more interested in becoming a face tuber. But
Mm.
um, they are excited about it. They're always asking me, have you done anything new with it? What's going on now? They think it's the cutest thing and they absolutely love it. And they love that I love it because that's what seems to be more important to them is that I'm happy and that I'm having fun. And other than that, I think my mom also knows about it and she thinks it's a very cute, adorable thing. She's actually streamed with me prior to becoming a VTuber when she was suffering injury, so I was taking care of her. So we'd play games together, and I would stream us playing games together because it was a lot of fun. My mom's a gamer. I'm a gamer. My sons are gamers. We're all gamers.
Gamer
But
family.
as far as my dad, he is usually very busy and he doesn't really watch like a lot of TV and stuff. He's more of a workman's man. So he doesn't really know about it. I haven't would I hide it from him? No. I don't really hide my hobbies and stuff from anybody. I'm not embarrassed or and I don't think it's embarrassing. And I think that's what a lot of people might think of when
Mm.
they decide whether or not to talk to IRL people about what they do.
So Spade says something that He told his real friends, and some people send hate on his stream.
Yeah.
Maybe as a
Yeah.
joke.
Mm-hmm.
Said his full name as well. So there are dangers in that.
There
Yeah,
are.
it is. And then a lot of my friends that I did, share it with, I have as lurkers. They lurk sometimes because they enjoy listening to my reactions and stuff. They've always had a fun whenever I played games. So, but like there's not very many of them because it's more like for me it's more like if they ask about it, I'm open to talk about it. But if not, then I'm okay with, you know, keeping it
Mm.
to myself. But I have seen that before when somebody like was like, "Oh, hey, they told their friends that they were a streamer, and all their friends came in and just razzed them.
And the parents knew immediately because I needed them to tell them to be quieter, so people don't scream in the background
Mm-hmm.
when streaming. Yeah. In my case, I tell everyone because I'm really proud of this. I love this. My parents have no idea what it is. No matter how many times I explain, they have no idea. My dad even when I got my first salary from Twitch, my dad still didn't understand I get money out of this. I actually need to sit down with him and explain to him that this is like a show. I'm on stage and I get paid for that. And I had to show him that the check, so he treat this as a job. And they still they don't really watch my streams. They don't understand. My two of my brothers actually are into high tech and streaming, so they are lurking my streams sometimes. And one of my brothers is actually sometimes when I play puzzle games, he would help from the chat, which is really cool. And then my friends, very rarely they join. I remember one time I played because they all know that I'm streaming, but they don't really know what's a VTuber, what's the difference. One time I was supposed to they had a party, a game party, and I couldn't come because I had schedules. I was playing. I was doing a D&D talk with someone. Who was that with? Lady Oka, and there was a storm in America, and she couldn't stream, so I was just there doing nothing. And my friends decided to surprise me, so they called me, and it was me. One of the friends has a Discord, so all of them in her Discord, and we all played Jackbox together. Me and my real life friends on stream. So it was very wholesome, out of nowhere. And every time, like I met my friends this Saturday, I'm like, "Hey, I got 1,000 followers on Twitter. Hey, I got 8,000 on Twitter." And some of them like, "Oh my god, what? It's so much." So what they know, I love to kind of show off sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, "Hey, I started this new podcast and so on." But I think the vast majority of the people don't really know what it is. They don't really know how to use Twitch. Um, but I will keep telling everyone. I really want to show off. Also, there was an anime convention in the summer in Israel, and I went there to give a lecture about Japanese relationships. And I showed everyone my VTuber model, which was new back then. So like, hey, I'm a VTuber and so on. Didn't get followers from that, but it was nice to show everyone there's VTubers here, and I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I revealed to everyone. What about you, Nix?
So when I first started, because I'm still new to streaming technically. So I started back in October, just like setting everything up. And then I really didn't tell my parents anything. Like I showed them the model, I showed them like my setup process, but like they didn't understand what I was doing until I actually like had my first stream, and then I showed them what I was doing, what my model looked like, the games I was playing, and then I showed them like the viewers and everything. And when I put my first VOD onto YouTube, my mom was the very first person to go and watch that. And
Aw.
as embarrassing as it was, we had like a 30-minute movie night just sitting together watching my VOD while I sat there and I cringed. We were just watching it together and I was just kind of like dying internally. But no, like every time I upload something to YouTube, my mom will go, well, she'll watch it, she'll like it and everything. And
Oh, that's
now
so sweet.
she's very supportive, and so is my dad. But at first, they were very confused about what Twitch was, what streaming was, and so like I also had to sit down with them and I had to show them like, this is what I do. I can make money from it if I really try hard enough. This is like everything that happens behind the scenes, and I kind of had to explain it to them. And so with my dad, it's gotten to a point where sometimes in the morning, like when I have time, I'll sit down with him, we'll be drinking coffee, tea, and then he'll just ask me, so any new updates on streaming, anything interesting, anything fun, and we'll just have like a small conversation. And after, so I did my debut back in at the end of December, and ever since
Now they can
then,
hear her screaming 6 in the morning.
everyone's asleep. So I don't play horror games in the morning because everyone's asleep. I play horror games at night because everyone's awake. Or when no one's home. But now that like I've started streaming, my sister recently just did her debut because she saw that I was able to do it, that we had the Wi-Fi that was supportable for streaming at a bare minimum. And now it's just kind of like that my family is very supportive of both of us because my sister games a lot, and she just kind of like, well, I might as well stream or start streaming if I'm gonna be playing games all the time. But then she's also, it's for her, it's more of a very, very laid back hobby. Whereas for me, it's more of a hobby that I really do enjoy a lot, because she actually said something to me the other day that really made me kind of think. It's because I told her, like, oh, if you want to stream, just stream. Like, I can work around my schedule. Just stream whenever you want. And she's just like, no, it's okay. You're the actual streamer. And that kind of like hit me in a way. I'm just kind of like, huh. Because she's just kind of like, I'm only streaming for fun because I play a lot of games, but you're the actual streamer. And that kind of made me think of like, what really is a streamer?
What is a streamer?
Yeah. But that's like
question.
my support from my family.
I think the moment you do it for a while, like maybe 2 months, you interact with chat, you deal with stuff, you network, you collab with people. One point you're a streamer. It's like I published 8 books, and after my first book, my mom, who is also an author, we had a conversation. Am I a book author now? And she says yes. She says the moment you publish a short story, you're an author. And I was like, no. I need to have a few books, like 3, 4 books out. I need to have audience. I need to have readers. I'm not an author. But now I did a few writing seminars in streaming and in real life. I published 8 books. I have a few readers, not too many, but I have a few. So I can call myself an author. But it's a good question. When are you a streamer? When can you call yourself a streamer? And at first 2 months, I couldn't call myself a streamer because I had 0 viewers. I didn't do any collabs. I couldn't reach out to anyone. I didn't even post anything on Twitter. I posted stuff on Twitter. I didn't get any views. But now, if I don't like looking at the numbers, but the numbers and the viewers say that I'm a streamer, so I can say that I'm a streamer, and I have receipts. I can show people. Hey, you a streamer? Yeah. What are you streaming? Oh, I'm streaming this game and that game, and I collab with that person. I have a podcast. So now that I do D&D, I do Tower. Now I do a lot of things, so I can stream. I can say I'm a streamer. And Nix, if I ask you, what kind of streams do you do? You can give me a list of games. I play horror games. I play this. I play that. I do a podcast. And Ella, I do this. I do that. I play this. I play that. I collab with this person, that person. You can give numbers basically. So you're a streamer.
Yeah.
Maybe like in a month, your sister will also start getting those.
Yeah, she's close to hitting affiliate, so I'm happy for her.
Oh wow.
But yeah, kind of like going back onto um who I've told, like my family knows because again, kind of like who mentioned it in chat, like I kind of told my family like because I like to walk into my room and then just leave.
Mm.
Just walk in, take a look, leave. And so I had to tell them that like, okay, I'm streaming. You can walk in. Just at least close the door so that I don't go screaming throughout the whole house. But like in terms of like my friends, I only told the people who I trust and the people who I'm close with. And with a couple of exceptions of like a few people who watch VTubers, and I'm just kind of like, you know what, like I know like you're really interested in like these VTubers. You know, I'm also going into VTubing if you're interested in that, and they're um they stop into my streams every once in a while. Most of my IRL friends are lurkers. Some of them are active here and there, but I've also had some people where they said that they wanted to say hi in the chat, but then they didn't know what I went by on stream, and so they actually ended up texting me midstream asking me what should I refer to you as.
Oh, I see.
So I actually haven't had that issue or concern of people like IRL friends doxing me on stream because I've only told people who I trust. And then even like my one IRL friend who helped me set up my lore and everything too, they're a regular viewer, but they also know that I want my privacy, and so they refrain as well. But like even off stream, like they call me by my regular name, by my actual name. But then on stream, like they know what they're allowed to say and what they're not allowed to say. And so I really haven't had that fear or concern of anyone going on stream and saying my name or anything that would dox me.
Mm.
And I think that really just comes down to like I trust the people I told. And I think like the moment that they break that trust to me, whether it be on stream or in person, like that itself tells me a lot.
Hey, Biggie.
I,
Welcome.
Hello, Biggie.
I
Biggie.
also
Good timing.
I've also had like because my sons know that I stream and they know when I'm streaming. It's usually when they come home. I'm still streaming after they come home. So sometimes my one son will want to tell me about his day, but he knows that certain things he shouldn't say while I'm live. So he'll say it's time to mute, and I'll be like, okay, so I'll mute right away. And my chatters have gotten to the point where they know after my sons have come home, because I call them my child spawn. I was like, hello, child spawn.
Child spawn.
Oh, that's cute.
So they know that they've come home, and sometimes I'll mute myself. Newer chatters will be like, Ella, you realize you're muted, and when I come back, I tell them, hey, I was muted because he wanted to tell me something. My older chatters or my older followers or friends will know, and sometimes they'll even pipe up in chat saying she's talking to her son. But they've gotten before it was a little shaky because sometimes they would just say things and I'd be like, oh no, don't say that. um, but they've gotten to the point where they're getting very well at online etiquette, because that's what it really is online etiquette.
Online etiquette.
Yeah.
What you're allowed to say, what you should say, shouldn't say, and things you're allowed to talk about, especially when it comes to your personal information, because it's scary. Like some people are really scary out there, and I had to sit and talk with them about these kinds of things, because as soon as they were old enough to buy their own phones, they were allowed to do stuff online. So I told them, I had to sit down and talk to them about the importance of what information you can give away and what you shouldn't give away, because personal information is like a backdoor to you. And and I tell them that's why it's important when I'm streaming not to just blurt something out. If you need to talk to me, just let me know and I will mute, because they come before my stream. and my followers and the people that I hang out with know that. So if I mute suddenly, they don't question really why I'm muted.
Mm.
Which is good.
Yeah, do you want to move to the next subject?
Yeah. Which number?
Next topic. I think we're gonna do number three. Can you do VTube in full time? In real life, full time workers versus part time versus full time streamers. How would affect your life? We kind of talked about hobby versus full time. How does it VTubing? How does it conflict or support your real life job, work, studies?
Ella, would you like to start?
Yeah, I can start. I for one I am a full time worker. I have a full time job. I've let people know that I am a forklift driver merchandiser. It is a very physical job. It takes a lot out of me, and I do streaming after work, which is supposed to be it. Streaming is my way of decompressing, and having fun. So it is definitely a hobby, and I've stated before. Um, it, my full time job is very mentally stressful as well as physically stressful. And when I come home, I like to hang out with others and talk to other people and have fun and play games. And that's where it's like, yeah, forklift certified. Sheesh. But it is a way for me to escape as well as I know that it's a way for other people to escape. So I usually try to make my streams fun, comfortable. I like to try to ask people how their day is, and I don't mind them talking about whether or not they had a bad day because I will too. But I will try to make it very vague so that way people don't feel like I'm
Mm.
venting or pushing that negativity on them. I just tell them, yeah, it was a pretty rough day. I had to take care of a few things, but you know what? I'm here to have fun now.
You're
So, and
basically there to forklift their spirits.
yes, I'm here to lift you guys up.
Literally.
Forklift.
Yeah.
I love you all. You're amazing. I'm so glad you're streaming. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
And it is a way for me to make my day a little happier, a little brighter, and making other people happier and brighter is making me happier and brighter
Mm.
because people will think, oh well, isn't it bother you that you're trying to isn't it work to make other people happy? And it's like, it's not work to me because if they're happy and they're talking and they're having a good day or I'm making them have a better day, that does make me happy. That gives me the feel goods. And that's why I'm doing it as a hobby, is for that very reason.
Ella needs only two fingers to to hold the X.
No,
Only
I
two
can't
fingers.
see. Yeah, can you feel the love, guys? Can you feel the love?
Can you feel the love? The love between Ella and an axe. New ship. Ella and the axe. Give her some wood to chop. So I'm really trying to take everything because the opposite of Ella. Uh, I'm trying to make this a real job. So I'm taking all the skills, transferable skills that I gained in my life, and try to do streams with them. So D&D. I used to be a D&D. I'm still for 12 years. I'm doing D&D with children. So doing that with VTubers kind of feel the same to me. I feel at home. Just took that from real life and do it on stream. Tarot readings. I used to do tarot readings many years ago. I brought that out of nowhere for streaming. And there's more things that I do in real life I wanted to do on stream. I do writing in real life. I want to write on stream. Still, I did writing seminars. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes less. Sometimes I write VTuber lore on stream. Um, so I feel like for me, whenever I do something in real life, like I need to study. I would took the suggestion from Nix actually. I would just put on ASMR and stream myself study. And then you have the keyboard ASMR. And then I both stream and study. If I want to play a game, I will stream myself playing a game. I can't really play games out of stream now. So I feel like um, it affects streaming affects my life in a way that almost everything that I can stream, I will do it on stream. So that way I can, yeah, streaming is not just streaming, it also is a way for me to do my duties. Because I think, like many other VTubers, I've been dealing with depression for a long period of my life, and I use schedules as a force, as outdoor force to help me do stuff. So every Sunday, I post my weekly schedule on Twitter, and I will follow that schedule to the end. And that kind of gives me motivation to do stuff. So I want to study, I will put study stream on a schedule, and then I will be here and I will study. So I think I can do VTubing full time because it helps me take everything else, and it encourages me to do stuff. It motivates me, basically.
That's a good way to look at it as well. For me, man, my chat, my community already knows this, is like, I have multiple jobs. And I know, like, next week I actually had 4 of my jobs ask me to come into work. I said maybe to 2 of them. Actually, no, 5. I lied, 5 of them. And I said yes, maybe to one of them, and then yes to the other ones. And it's just kind of like, and those are like all part-time. On top of, I'm still going to school full-time. Like, if I'm not home, I spend my whole day at school. Like, there's a day in the week where I don't stream, I don't do anything, but I'm only at school from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I won't get home until 10 p.m. And so that whole day for me is just kind of like, that day is just for me, myself, and I don't do, like, I'll go on Twitter, I'll make my tweets, but like, I don't do anything like stream related because I just don't have the mental capacity to do anything. And it's just kind of like, I would like to see that streaming is going to be something I'm going to do for the next few years, if maybe not longer, if I can make it that way. I did have a conversation with someone recently about incorporating streaming into my work, actually. It's something that I thought about, it's something that I've considered, but I definitely have not like fully looked into like whether or not I want to incorporate a hobby into a full-time job, because then I would be incorporating in 2 different ways. And for me, I don't want to look at streaming as a job. I want to look at it as, like Ella says, like, this is my stress relief. I come home from work, I come home from school, and I just kind of want to relax, and I do that by streaming. Even though some people don't see it that way, like, I use streaming as my stress relief. It's actually really interesting because recently I had to take a test in one of my classes, and it asked me questions about burnout. And surprisingly enough, out of everyone in my class, I actually had the lowest rank for burnout, which meant that I don't get burned out easily. And the reason for that, honestly, is because I stream. Because I get to have my stress relief in stream, I get to have fun, and I get to talk to people, I get to talk to a great community, and overall, just kind of like, I would, relaxing in general is how I take stream as, even during collabs. But
that makes sense, though, right?
Yeah.
Because you're hanging out with friends and you're having a good time and you're laughing.
Mm-hmm. And I just like, that's something that I don't get to do at school or at work because I'm busy the whole day. Like, I don't get to talk to friends. I don't get to talk to like people much. There are days I don't get time to eat lunch. My chat also knows that. It's just busy work all day until I can get home, and then it's just kind of like, okay, I can relax, and now I can do what I want. And it's just kind of, it's fun for me to be able to hang out with everyone, because then I then get my social interaction for the day. Like, it's a social interaction that I choose to have, not that I'm required to have. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when you're at school, at work, you're required to talk to people. You're required to like interact with other people so you can get the job done, so you can get your work done. But then you're required because you have to go see this person, go see that person. But when you're streaming, like, you get to pick who you want to talk to. You get to pick who you want to hang out with. And that's where like the fun comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
So if you
streaming should
need,
be fun.
if streaming will become a full-time job, um, how will it affect your life? Will you be able to stop doing stuff, move on to full-time streaming, or will it always be a hobby?
I think for
Um.
me, oh, Ella, do you want to go?
No, yeah, I could
Go
go.
ahead, go ahead.
I've always told my kids, and I've always told people who know that I'm streaming, that if I can break uh uh break a certain, like, pillar, or a certain, like, what's a good word for it? If I can break a certain line, surpass a certain line, to where I could comfortably be able to stream as well as live off of it, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I even have a game plan for it. I'm one of these people, I make a lot of different notes and lists of things that I would do if it happened or when it happened. And one of those was, if I would ever become big enough to where I could actually stream as a work environment. Um, there's not a lot I would change, but there are things that I would put in place. Probably more structuralized in the aspect of that. I would make sure that I had a schedule, and keep to that schedule. I've noticed that a lot of streamers have a weekly schedule, and their time frames change a lot. But I'm more of a person that I need a complete structure. I need to stream at a specific time every day, and it's more so for me than viewership. But I also know that if you're on at a specific time every day, people don't have to really think, oh, are they streaming today? Oh, let me check that schedule. No, they would be more likely to be able to go on autopilot and think, oh, today is, stream day at this time, so let's go there. And it's also like, you also have to look at the background of the fact that if you make this a job, you have to realize, what kind of taxes do you have to do, taxes versus federal
Yeah.
taxes, and how it's going to affect, yeah, how it's going to affect that, because people don't realize, okay, you're earning money, but you also have to think of it as a self business, and those people have to pay their taxes. They have to go through hoops that they have to jump in order to make sure that it is actually going to process revenue, because if it's not enough revenue to live off of, then it's not a job. So
Oh,
you
we gotta
do have
hydrate.
to
Mm.
Oh, I
you
haven't
do
hydrated
have
in a
to
while.
make sure. Oh, I've been hydrating this whole time.
That drink. You know that Peony, who's been here earlier. She does drinking streams and she dares to hydrate with vodka.
Oh
I
my
told her no.
goodness.
I
Oh
already didn't
goodness.
hydrate. You gotta go get water.
Yes,
Hey,
water,
hydrate
please.
again. Hey,
I say it
careless.
again. Thank you, Careless
Thank
and
you. We
Stretch.
got
Thank you,
hydrate
and
and
thank you
stretch.
for the stretch.
That's going back a bit to the health. If someone redeems water, hydrate, or stretch, I feel bad if I don't give him that. It's part of the full-time job thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's also because I don't have hydrate on my streams, so I always make sure I have a cup of water and that I hydrate every time I'm very
Mm.
self-conscious about, like, whether or not like my throat or something, because you're talking a lot more than you think you would. But I've
Mm.
also had a lot of jobs in retail where you constantly have to talk. So I'm pretty good at like knowing when it is time to take a drink.
I'm just bad at drinking water in general. I've gone like 2 days without drinking water because it like went
Oh my goodness.
above my head. I was just like, why do I have a headache? I'm very bad at
no.
drinking water.
But yeah, I don't have plans making this my full-time job. I have a full-time job and it earns the keep, you know. I pay my bills and get everything done and take care of the family and everything. I earn the bacon. And yes, the streams do help though because I the thing is when I do get the money for the subs or the bits, I put it into I put it back into it because that's what hobbies are kind of. Like if you have a hobby that has a revenue, I know that what I do is I put back into it. When I first started, it was a big chunk. I was very surprised at how much
How
I
much time it
made.
takes? Yeah.
Yeah, how much I made, and I went ahead and I got emotes for the channel and the
Hmm.
Discord. And I started putting work into the Discord so there was a place that the community could go to when I wasn't streaming that they could talk to each other and stuff. It's not very active, but you know, every once in a while we have conversations and people and they do tell me that they appreciate and really like the emotes, which is great. And then I put it into other things. I do have plans in the future. It's already started. If my community has noticed that I have little things that I've been posting here and there to uh, to sort of give a clue on what's coming. It's gonna still be a little while, but like it's fun because it's a slow burn, and that's what I love about it because I can be creative with it.
Hmm.
Hmm. I think,
Shall we move to the? You have one more thing to add, or do you want to move to the next subject?
yeah, I was gonna kind of go off of what Ella said. Is like, I, I've actually had people who have asked me if I would ever, um, stop any of my jobs and go into full time streaming if it made enough. And I think I did say in stream that I actually said no.
Hmm.
Even if I made enough from streaming, for me, I would still keep it as a hobby because I want to separate my hobbies from my work because I don't want it to be something that drags me down and makes me depressed.
Hmm.
And I think being able to keep that separation between work and personal life is just as important as reminding yourself that streaming is not a job if you don't make it a job.
Hmm. So,
So
um,
for me, streaming will almost always be a hobby. And like things might change, but that's
Mhm.
my viewpoint on things right now. Is like I'm keeping streaming as a job. Or,
That's a
sorry, as a
very good
hobby, not a
point.
job.
ah,
I
No,
was
it
like,
is.
pretty
wait.
It's a
unsplit.
very good point though, because yes, that's also why like I don't foresee myself ever reaching the break point. Like the break point's set really high because it has, like I said, it has to be enough revenue to surpass what I'm working now, and what I'm working now is enough to support myself and everything like that. So like, yeah, I don't foresee it ever becoming more than a hobby
Yeah.
for myself. And I mean, I'm the type of person that's always open to the what ifs,
Mhm.
and that's also why I probably have a ton of lists of things that I would do if something happened this way or that way. Because I'm an open person to what ifs. But it's very good to have like a set like this isn't going to happen because I want it to stay this way.
Yeah.
Hmm. So, moving on to unique subject here: VTuber relationships. Are they a good idea? And what do you think about them?
I think my first question would be, what do you define a relationship?
Well, the sub question where is how long should you know someone before you decide to meet? Can be
Hmm.
friendships, romance. When do you reveal your face or other stuff to them? Basically, is it a good idea to have, let's say, long distance relationship? Um, how do you move on to the next step?
It's
See
an
the
interesting
silence here.
topic. It's an interesting topic.
I can start off. I don't mind talking about things.
Because
I'm
Ella,
very
requested that topic, so we hope that
Yeah.
you have input.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. I'm a very open person. I make friendships very easily. I enjoy making friendships because I enjoy talking to other people. Um, I have made a lot of friends starting off on VTubing and such. But it's also because I'm a person who's interested in other cultures and other people, that I like to share what how I live in my experiences, and I like to hear other people's experiences and how they live, because you are meeting people in different countries, and the way they grow up and the way they perceive the world is much different from your own. So I'm very open to making friends. But I do have sort of the different circles. I mean, you see it on Twitter, the little circle indicator. That's how you could probably perceive mine. Is there are different circles for me. There are people who are very close to me that I don't mind sharing personal aspects of my life, and I've talked to on a personal level, and I've revealed my face to them. Mimic is one of them.
Hmm.
and and then there are the outer ring, which are people that I will still talk to and I will be friends online with them, but they don't know me as well. And I am open to getting to know them more, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to just let them in, because you have to be able to, when it comes to online relationships and friendships, you have to set a limit, because if you don't, then you're liable to open yourself to bad things happening, or bad situations, uncomfortable situations. And
Hmm.
uh yeah, you really need to be careful, especially when it's online, because you don't know them and they don't know you as well as you think you do, or they do.
Yeah, sometimes you think you do know someone, and they suddenly they spin on you out of nowhere. It happened to me earlier. I'd say the first 3 4 months. It happened more that I would. Okay, so I divide the people that I know to three groups. There's the people that I chased after, the people who chased after me, and the people that I met through a third party. Um, and I feel like I'm not sure anymore, but now I'm better at choosing people that I hang out with, and I can. It's easier to recognize red lines and so on. Although I don't care about trusting people and making relationships, it's still there are people that recently, for example, a friend. Here's a story that happened to me to a friend at work. Um, so they were supposed to collab with someone, but just before the collab, they felt this weird intuition that something is gonna be wrong, so they had to cancel the collab. That's a person who doesn't usually cancel his collab, but they really felt like they had to at that point. And I think I feel kind of the same in a way that sometimes right now I'll be a bit more careful with relationships because some people that I met along the way have took relationships to um, I'll say this. When I was in sixth grade, sixth, 12-year old, 11-year old, I had a friend who was constantly asking me who's my best friend, and he wanted me to rank my friends, and he always had to make sure that he's my favorite friend. It reached the point that it was really annoying, and I had many many friends. And if I wanted to play a game with one person, he would ask me, "No, you have to play with me instead. Why do you play with that person?" and so on. Earlier on as a VTuber, I've encountered a few cases of people getting angry, even passive aggressive, even giving me the silent treatment because I chose to collab with certain people, not with them. I remember one person really getting angry at me for not collabing with them. And in when it comes to relationships, it's your choice. Who do you want to be in a relationship with? Who you don't want to be in a relationship with? And this is more in the friendship kind of area. As a
Mm-hmm.
male VTuber, I have less less females VTuber courting me than I see in the other stuff. Like for example, I see many female VTubers friends who are being hit on non-stop by male VTubers, by male viewers during stream, after stream, before stream. It happens non-stop. And I feel like the person wanted to a lot of words of affirmation and validation. Exactly. Yes. And I've had that. I told that story because I've had friendly relationships with VTubers who demanded the same thing, who reminded me of that friend from sixth grade, like immediately. And it really made me sick in a way. I was like, oh no, it's that person again. Ugh, why? On the other hand, it's a good thing that I know this red flag and don't need to experience that thing the same. I do have, like I said earlier, some people that I thought were my friends. I considered them friends. I had a face come with them. I collabed with them many times. And one day, they block you and you don't even know why. You're just gone. Some of them might even tell all kind of stuff about you behind the scenes. I know of because some people go immediately and run and tell you, hey, this person said that on you. I know that there was one person who asked like one or two other VTubers to not collab with me. And when they said no, I want to collab with Mimic, that person blocked them. So I may have won that battle, but it makes me feel bad that I've befriended that kind of person on the first hand. And to every person who listens, if you think this is about you, it's not. It happened multiple times. I collab with a lot of people, so obviously there's some bad choices. Um, the thing is that you really need to be careful who you are forming a relationship with, and to make sure they know that this is work. We're going to collab maybe once, and that's it, and that's completely okay. I'm not, like we said before, I'm not your therapist. I don't owe you anything. Um, we're not besties. We're not best friends now. You want to be my bestie? You have to do a video chat with me. You have to talk with me every day. You have to do a voice chat with me. I need to know some stuff about you. You need to know some stuff about me. If we talk on, I want to add like an extra subject. It's in our big topic list. It's the hey. I'm sure both of you have experienced that. A viewer or another VTuber, someone who just says hey on a DM. Hey, hey,
Mm.
hey. And you say hey, and they don't answer. Next day, hey, hey, hey. The hey. And it's like, what? What is going on? Some people, I feel, really need the attention, the friendly attention, but they don't know how to carry a conversation. So they would just say hey and hope that you carry it for them. Mimikun.
I've never had
Hey.
that
You,
happen.
what? You never had that happen?
I've never had that happen.
Hey. No, Peony, they don't go full hey. They go like this. Hey. Sometimes they will just put an emote
Hi.
like this. Like really attention seeking.
I've had a couple like that.
Not only I had that, I had other collab partners that told me that it happens to them and asked for an advice. And after this happened to me with many viewers, I just decided that in some cases I need to stop answering. So I don't want to block someone.
Mhm.
So I would just tell Discord or Twitter to mute them, and then
Mm.
I don't even see that. And I can kind of, because I want to be busy with other things. That brings me back to the previous topic, the first topic we had, which is I think the best way to deal with certain stuff is to make yourself busy with other stuff. Peony-chan, for example, Peony Aster in chat. I've been talking with Peony so much this week, and my week has been voice chat with Peony and Alnichi. I kid you not, I had when was it? Like Monday or what day is it today? I think Monday. Where almost the whole day, what I did was talk with Anichi and Peony. That's what I did the whole day, and that's great because it distracted me from having to deal with other stuff. So someone who messaged me and like, hey, why aren't you answering? Oh, sorry, I was really busy today. I was talking with some friends. I was doing some stuff, and I actually was busy with talking with some friends. Um, so when we talk about relationships, these are about more friendly relationships. I
Yeah.
think I'm a bit more careful now. I'm focusing more on quality than on quantity. I used to focus more on quantity. Now I feel like I got into a really good spot and I focus more on quality.
I think that's good though, because I kind of want to go back onto like what you were talking about with your sixth grade story. Is like, I I personally, I hate the word best friend. Like, I hate it with a passion for that reason
Bestie.
exactly. Like, I don't, in my friends know that I hate it. And I call people like my close friends or friends, and then like it'll go down from there. But like my highest is like, you're a close friend. And that's because I don't like having to single out best friend, because to me that just means one person, and that just kind of like secludes everyone else that I could have as a potential close friend. And I think I just went through like so many different friendships where it's just kind of like, yeah, we talked for a while and now it's just kind of like we don't talk anymore. So then what's that friendship? The quote unquote best friend is no longer there. So then were they really the best if that friendship is no longer there? So then why use that if
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that's going to last? And so that's just my personal thought on best friends. But I do kind of like agree, like, you need to be able to have the friends that you trust and that can set bounds with, and like the people who you know that will like check in on you, who will answer your messages, who you can call, or like the people like you don't mind spending like the whole day with.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Dream Skill says here like some people who would write like 20 sentences about how are you, what you're doing, but never say what they want from you. Uh,
mm-hmm.
kind of like that. People that are obsessed with the concept of friends and being your bestie and you're their bestie, but there's no real content to that makes it a best friend.
Yeah, and I know there's definitely like some people who I've met where they're seeking a friendship, but it's interesting because they would use other means to gain your friendship rather than just talking.
Hmm. I want to dive a bit to romantic relationships. I had a small romantic adventure with VTuber a few months ago, and I feel one day she just said, "Do you want to spend some time together off stream?" And that was, I think, the first time someone asked that of me. Like, hey, do you want to chat off stream? Like, okay. So we did it. Um, and and I felt like I'm learning about her. She learns about me. We kind of got really connected during that. Like, I don't know, 6 hours of just talking off stream. It was great. And suddenly I understood that maybe this concept of bestie or friend, it's some people I feel really want to announce that or have that title. Well, it's more something that you gain, you know. I feel with you too, for example, we did a face chat, and we talked a lot about some personal stuff and some experience that we had. I feel like we gained the friendship. It's not just a title. I did
Mm-hmm.
have some people who after one, I kid you not, one stream with a one collab of like 30 minutes, they announced me as their bestie, and I was very excited. Yeah, let's go. But in some cases, they never spoke to me ever again afterwards. So, what's the bestie? In some cases, I went to the Twitter and like, hey, here's my bestie, and it's someone else, and then I'm the bestie. That person is the bestie. Everyone is the bestie. It's like bestie replaced the a person that I've spoke with once. Now it's a bestie. It's like, I think maybe some people don't treat relationships and friend relationships in the same way. Thank you for the stretch.
Stretch time.
Get to the point. I don't have time. But it's a DM. I just sometimes. Okay, this when I was started streaming, I sent a DM to many people asking, "Hey, can we collab?" And many people didn't answer. And some people like Miu, Wanchan Miu agreed to do a first collab with me. Some people today would ask me, "When do you want to collab?" And I would say, "Okay, what do you have in mind?" And some people will not answer. I would ask, "When are you available?" Some people will not answer. And then in some cases, some people will like a week later say, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I go back and I see, yeah, I asked you something. I asked you, "When are you available? What do you want to do?" And you didn't answer. Well, what do you want me to do now? Do you want me to chase after you every day? Like, I'm waiting for your input. I have like 5 or 6 groups of people who wants to collab or play D&D together. And I'm asking, when are you available? And one person answers and the other don't. So I'm at the point that I cannot babysit other streamers. Let's be honest, right? Ella, Nix, we scheduled, we're here, done. Some people I would ask, when are you available? And they don't know. They don't have a schedule. They say, let me get back to you. And they don't. I have someone recently who said, let me get back to you on Sunday. And she said that like on Friday. And I'm still waiting. Now I'm supposed to say, hey, it's been a long time since Sunday. You didn't come back to me. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they forgot. But if they come out of nowhere, like let's say on my chat, hey, do you remember me? I'm still waiting for your answer.
But yeah, the question is like Biggie says, how long is too long not to answer?
Parasocial relationship. Bestie is a Gen Z word, yeah. Unprofessional people, exactly. Friend of people DMing you with, hey, how are you? And you know you want something different the rest of my time. I can shorten it to, I do it, but this is my inner German. Yeah, I stopped answering to how are you. How are you for me is like no content. They want something, they don't want to say what it is. I don't need to.
Okay, next time I text Mimic, I'm texting him, how are you?
Yeah, but I know
You know, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, by the way, both of you are late. Peony already did it.
I said next time. Next time.
Next time.
Next time I text Mimic, how are you? Just leave it at that.
So it's like, hey, I have a really funny story with Izu. Izu and I are sharing a brain cell, basically. Yesterday on the stream, we said so many things at the same time. It was so funny. And she has those, sometimes she would post a tweet. I had it with those GFX bots saying, hey, how are you? I immediately went to her DMs and like, hey, are you a streamer? And she was like, oh, for fuck's sake, Mimic, I'm gonna stab your eyes. And I was like, can I at least show you my portfolio? And we had this long, stupid conversation of like a role play of me being a GFX bot, and she's also a GFX bot, and we're trying to show the portfolio to each other. Blocked.
That's so funny.
But obviously, I'm talking about new people who... I don't have a lot of people who reach out to me. Mostly I reach out to my collab partners. But when people reach out and just say, hey, I don't answer. If you want to reach out to me, tell me who you are. Tell me what do you want. It really helps. It really, really helps.
It does, though. It does. If you reach out and say like, hey, how are you? And then like put the next sentence of like why you're messaging me other than hey, how are you? Like if you're just checking in on me, like I appreciate that. But then like I know that there's some people who like I have people who like I talk to daily and I know that they're checking in on me. But then there's some people who I know will message me once a week. And sometimes it's to ask for something and I'm just kind of like, okay, I know where this is going and I kind of want you to get to the point. But like I also like, okay, let's get to the point and then I'll ask after we get to the point, how are you? And then the conversation just kind of like sometimes just cuts right there. And that itself shows me like, okay, I see why you were here.
Also, Tori just sent me that the how are you as well. I love this community. It's so funny sometimes. You need to create a message that has always like, hey, how are you? Now we just chat with each other. I love this. Segue on that. I have a few red flags with relationships because I've been betrayed in the past in VTubing community by people that I considered my friends. So I have a few red flags. One of them is the empty conversations, right? People who would say hi, how are you? Empty conversation. If they don't going to give content, I like see it as a red flag. They want me to be the babysitter, and I don't want to be the babysitter. And please, be honest, send me your portfolio. I do want to.
And this is coming from somebody who says he's top. He doesn't want to babysit though.
Okay, so someone recently said, and I quote, "Okay, I understand why you say that you're a top. I won't say the context. I won't say who. I got a confirmation from someone that I'm a top." Seriously though, one more red flag, gonna make the conversation a bit more interesting. A red flag for me is lootubers at this point. I don't have anything against lootubers. I sometimes collab with lootubers. Celeste is a lootuber and she's one of my favorite VTubers. She's a really close friend. I love her. But if I need to collab with someone else and I see that they are a lootuber, that's a big red flag. If I get reached out by a lootuber for a collab, I'll be, I will most likely, avoid it, or at least I will do something that only one person did it to me. I think Lady Oka. We talked about this on stream. Lady Oka, when I wanted loot tuber, yeah. One who plays loot games. No, loot tuber. A loot tuber is basically a sex worker. It's a porn actor actress as a looter. So they will do this lewd voice. Hi, how are you? And they will show their model in graphical content, and they will post porn on their Twitter. And their streams are 18 plus. And I used to collab with those kind of people every once in a while because I said, you know what? It's the same. It's really the same. And I don't want to generalize because obviously I didn't collab with all lootubers out there. And if you're a lootuber, that's completely fine. But every single case of a bad experience I had in streaming involved a lootuber. Well, almost every. To the point that I'm like, okay, if this is a lootuber, I have to be extra sensitive, extra careful. I don't know why. I'm not a psychotherapist. I don't know why. I'm writing a thesis about that subject, the normalization of sexual harassment on VTubers. So maybe I'll figure out why. Whoever I hear Mimic says he's a top, I just go ace attorney and be like, objection.
Objection.
Ella as well. Ella, you proved that I'm a switch on stream.
Oh yeah, we didn't prove anything. You proved it to yourself.
Yeah, I did it to myself. Yeah. No, I love lewd content. Ella, Mew, and I, we're lewd all the way when well, not all the way. Arrow and I are lewd all the way. Izu, Luna, and me yesterday, it was like, I don't think I've ever been that lewd on a stream. We had lewd jokes. It was like a South Park episode. I had a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
But I know that
like
both
a South Park episode.
It was like in South Park, yes. And we made it so funny. Like when the character in Doki Doki would say something like I don't know, like a dip. I would like go dip, and it became like we laughed. You said dip. We laughed at the most stupid things, like little children, and it was really fun. But you know what? Both Luna and Izu will not post porn on their Twitter. So they may be a bit lewd, but they're not lewd tubers. They're not sex workers.
When it comes to that, I don't consider myself a lewd tuber, so I call myself a sus tuber.
Yeah.
Because and I think that can go for people who are like that, who don't really post a lot of sexual things and don't really go like the distance of being a completely lewd. But I do say sus things. I do make sus jokes, and I can be a little lewd sometimes, but I really do consider it more like a sus thing, not really a lewd.
That's so interesting because I feel like we're just kind of going down the line because I'm a say so streamer.
That's complete opposite.
Yeah.
And when I collab with you, it's a different mindset. Unlike with Nyx, no lewd stuff. With Ella, you can just go with it.
Because it's very interesting. Like I definitely I collab with people who are lewd, who are sussy, but I myself don't produce any content of my own that is lewd. It is all say so based. And I think that in itself is a different kind of mindset, as Mimic said. Like you go into the stream with a completely different mindset than you would with a lewd tuber.
And that's the thing that's been bothering me in the case of relationships and LewTubing in the last few months. Let's say a couple of months. While doing my thesis and while collabing with all kind of VTubers, um, I feel like with YouTubers, I need to be more careful with what I say, which is kind of the opposite from what I would have expected. I would expect that with YouTubers, I can feel comfortable to say whatever I want. But in my experience, YouTubers, and this is my theory from the articles I read about this and from my experience, my theory is that the YouTubers that I collab with at least do not want to be YouTubers, they're not lewd in real life. They have maybe posted a thigh pic or a foot pic or a boob pic or something like that, and they got followers who want more of that, and they kind of got themselves into this never-ending loop that they have to provide lewd content.
And that kind of goes back to what I was talking about when I was starting off, that I'm not the type of person to hide away myself from my persona. I have a split, though. I have a line where my persona or my character is who she is and I am who I am. And you really have to think about what kind of content you want to create or want to make when you start off, because if you want viewers who want sus content, then be sus. If you want viewers and followers who like lewd, then you have to be careful what you share first, because if you start off sharing lewd stuff and you're not a lewd person, that's a lot of mental anguish on yourself that you're putting yourself through, a lot of stress, because
It will
they
attract
expect it.
yes,
Yeah.
and it will attract creeps. It will attract creeps. You will surround yourself by that. I'm wholesome. I'm a bit lewd, a bit sassy like Ella, but I'm wholesome in general. I do praises, I do love confessions as a redeems, and I get people who do that in return. I get so much praise from my community. I do jokes, I get jokes in return, and I see other VTubers who are very lewd, and they get some of the weirdest, most creepy DMs.
Mm-hmm. And this all comes around to what kind of friends you want around you online, because if you start off as being if they meet you through your community or through your streaming and they think, oh wow, this person's so lewd, I want to be friends with them, then they're expecting it of you in DMs. And if you're not actually like that, then yeah, you're gonna have to suffer the consequences of that, because they're wanting to be friends with you because they think you're a certain way. And I think that goes for IRL as well. But like, if you want to be friends with somebody, or you want friendships that mean something to you of who you are, then you should probably make sure that you present yourself as such.
Yeah, because like I feel like we've all had our own little encounters with like people who we probably all have like encounters with like creeps and people we don't want to be with, and like the first thing like you automatically do is just kind of like push yourself away from them, block them, get away from them. And I think that's the healthy thing to do. It's just kind of like get yourself away from that bubble, from that group, from that person. How you do it, it depends on the situation, depends on what happened, the conversation, etc., etc. But I think one thing too is just kind of like, one thing you should think about is, who do you really want to put your trust in, and do you think they'll ever come back and just stab you in the back? Because that's another thing too. Like, if you're like making friends with someone, and they're someone who you could see yourself talking to like here and there, then like maybe don't put like your full trust in them. But like if you're talking to someone like every single day, and like they've disclosed stuff to you and you feel comfortable, disclose, I mean like personal stuff, like maybe what they do for work, or other hobbies that they have that they don't talk on stream and stuff like that. I don't mean anything else. And like you feel comfortable with that, and you feel like comfortable in your conversations, you've hung out with them and outside of stream and like voice calls or like in group calls. I think like it really just on you as a person, it really depends on where your trust is going and whether you can consider that trust in that friend to continue down the line. Because like even Mimic, you said like you've had people you've done video calls with, but in the end like some of those friendships just did not last. And maybe sometimes I
now retrospectively, I don't think those were friendships. I treated those as friendships, while in real life they treated me maybe as, I don't know, I don't want to say numbers, right? But the friendships broke when I passed some people in the numbers. And I'm the last person to look at numbers as a thing. When I collab with someone, I look at their audio quality, at their energy, if they're fun to hang out with. I couldn't care less about your numbers. But
it was my audio quality.
it was yeah, the audio quality. It was your energy, your vibe, you being an wholesome person. Also, Ella, I got recommendation from Mimi Haru. She recommended me to collab with Ella. So that's a third person. And audio quality needs to be good, let's be honest. And I need also not only audio quality, I need to see that you can stream well. If we stream and you're busy with your chat and you forget that I'm here, that's a problem. If everything is a mess and you're like completely clumsy and it crushes and scuffed to a level that I just feel like it's a waste of time, it's also annoying. I'd say the worst thing though is if you cancel a schedule with me, or recently I think I talked with Nix about this last week. There was some drama I've seen. We're not gonna talk about this because it's like 2 weeks ago. But one of those people that was involved in the drama, the name was familiar to me, and I went to my Discord DMs, and lo and behold, a few months before that, I was attempting to schedule a collab with that person. It's canceled today. Arrow. And I counted that person scheduled and canceled a schedule with me at the last moment 5 times. And every time I gave them another, okay, do you want to collaborate this and that time? And I said, yes, I'm so sorry. And they cancel it. Every time it's a different reason. Today I'm less generous. If someone cancels a collab with no good reason, I'm like, bye. Hey, Yuki.
Hello, Yuki. Okay, so then that makes me like question, like, for both of you, how many times do you allow a person to cancel on you for a collab before you don't reach out to them and collab with them again?
As many, I think, like Mimic said, as many times as they need to, as long as the excuse is a valid excuse. If and of course that's really hard to negate because it could be anything, it could be an IRL emergency.
What's a value? What's an excuse? Like someone went to the hospital. Someone has been called out by work. Someone. It's in real work, right? Real life work in D&D. There was seriously real work. There was a dungeon master one day who broke his arm or like had an accident, traffic accident on the way to work, and went to the hospital and everything was okay. Next week, he did another traffic accident on the way to work.
Goodness.
And next week, another one. Um, the third time, my boss was like, "Okay, he's cheating us. That's something is wrong here."
Mhm.
I
And
had
and it's
people in. Yeah,
yeah.
you go.
It's more or less also like to what you think is going on too, because you don't know exactly what's going on their side. You
Mhm.
don't know what
Mhm.
they're going through or if something's going on mentally with them. Um, so it's always good to have a little bit of leadway, a little bit of understanding, but you also have to be able to say, "Hey, I've tried collabing with you so many times and you've always given me excuse. I think until you have your life situation altogether better, I think I'll just go ahead and not collab with you anymore." And I usually explain to people, "Hey, I'm not going to collab with you because of this specific reason." And I always make sure I tell them why or why not. And you know what? That's only happened one time to me. Other than that, I've been pretty good with collabs. I'm very like flexible, but I have a strict schedule because of my IRL job being full time and being a parent and having all these other things I have to take care of first. So I always tell people my schedule is always the same. I don't really change it very often. I have two people that I have set collabs with on specific days, and so I always give them the free days. And if they cannot collab on those days, I try to be flexible enough on my days off to collab with them. But I always let them know on my days off I don't stream. So sure, I will make the collab, but don't expect me to stream.
Mm. I think that's a really good way to put it.
Mhm. Uh, I forgot what we were talking about.
Uh,
We were talking about um,
My
when
well,
is
brain
a
the,
got
good
blank.
cutoff point to not collab?
Oh, right. That thing.
yeah.
Like I have so much to say. So I used to, I used to, I used to give as many chances as possible, right? Because I really wanted to collab with a certain person. I would go all the way. But after so many people cancel, I told Arrow one day, listen, I got I got like 10 people. Was it seven, 8 people cancel a collab 1 week, and now it's roughly 50%. 50% of the people that I want to collab with will cancel at the last moment. So whenever you see a collab, there's like twice that many people that I was supposed to collab with. So now I'm going for the quality, and not quantity. So I collab more with people that I know will not cancel, or if they cancel, it's a real reason. I'll give Alnich as an example. Praise our goddess and savior, Ella Chan. Ella is so adorable and fluffy. Ella is the mommy of all VTubers out there. She's an amazing, beautiful, gorgeous person. And she's so supportive and so happy and so trusty. And Nix too.
Mhm, mhm,
And you know who else? Alnichi. So Alnichi, she wanted to collab with me. She even found this game, The Past Within, which is an amazing co-op game. If you want to play a game with someone else, The Past Within, my God, amazing, adorable, so fun. Not me again, Alnichi every week.
Every week.
Um, and it was Saturday morning for me, and suddenly Alnichi has to cancel the collab because her computer won't turn on. It's a legitimate reason.
mhm,
There's nothing you can do against it, right? Nothing you can do about it. But deep in my head, I was thinking, what if that's not the reason? What if she's just anxious or depressed or afraid of collabing with me, or I don't know? Because I know some people, like that person who canceled 5 times. Every single one of
mhm.
those times, I saw on her Twitter that she's saying stuff like, "Hey, I went out and bought ice cream. Hey, I'm so depressed today. I can't get out of bed." So I saw that she's dealing with some mental stuff, and
Mhm.
it's not really the excuses she gave me.
Mm.
Um, but Angie sent me pictures of her computer broken. She
Oh,
she she went immediately to my stream and subbed as an apology.
oh. Yeah.
Aw.
I remember too that there was one time that I canceled with Mimic and I felt so bad.
Really? I don't
I
remember
felt
that.
so bad. We made like we were going to do a lewd D&D stream and it was kind of spur of the moment planned. And
Oh,
then I had to
right.
cancel on you and
I'm
I
actually
was
glad
so
you
sad
you
about
canceled that.
it.
No, no, I'm actually glad you canceled that because um I the concept of lewd D&D like again, I want to stay from lewd stuff like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's it's not a good idea. Let's put it that way. And I had a few moments of lewd D&D or a bit lewd D&D that I had to unpublish the stream afterwards and, and,
Mhm.
and and just destroy the stream because other people feel not comfortable with it. Some people may ask you to unpublish the stream. I felt uncomfortable. Things could go out of control. And that's another thing about trust and relationships. Sometimes, like if I want to do a lewd D&D session, I did a lewd D&D with Anatis and Observer a long time ago, and they
Mhm.
were okay with it. But I felt like I knew them better than other people I did lewd D&D session with. So if I do that kind of thing, it needs to be with someone that I really know who that person is. There's very clear lines before. There's safe words. There's all of that. Even
Mhm.
in D&D, for example, we have the lewd forest. Um, I had to put a sign at the entrance to the lewd forest with a safe word
Mhm.
because some people who went into the lewd forest were more comfortable, some were less comfortable, and I needed to learn to read the group as many individuals who also affect on each other. Good morning, Fox. And that's when you collab with multiple people. You need to not only read every person, you need to read their interaction. So when I collaborate now with Ella and Nix, I also need to notice the interaction between Ella and Nix. Are they comfortable with each other?
Mhm. Mhm.
Luckily for everyone, Alichi and I immediately scheduled for next week. You know what happened next week?
Mm.
Something else broke. I don't remember what.
Oh
Something else in her
no.
computer, and she had to cancel again. And she felt so bad. Um, so I told her, okay, from now on, it's in your hands. I'm available. You tell me when, but you cannot cancel the next collab. So you schedule. You have to be 100% sure you can do it. And it took it like 2 3 weeks. But she fixed everything. She told me we collab. I don't remember the message. We collab, and even if there's a meteor shower, we do it no matter what. And we did it. It was great. And after that, I had the first VTuber podcast with Nix, and I told her that story. And the morning of the show, Nix didn't have internet.
Oh no.
It was the
Morning of the
first
first show.
day. The first day of the very first show. I woke up at 4 in the morning, looked at my phone, didn't see any notifications, and that told me already I did not have internet.
Oh
Woke
god.
up, went down to the router, started resetting it, restarting it. I made a Twitter post, and as soon as I made that post, Mimic saw it, liked it, and then I texted him and I was like, I'm trying to get my Wi-Fi back on. I'm trying.
And I'm so used to these those points. I just do whatever you can. I'll do the podcast anyway. You can join from your phone. And she was
Yeah.
like,
I've done
I'm
that
gonna
too.
join anyway. And she joined. She joined from her phone, and we have a real scuff first session, which was great.
Yeah.
And then we talked about
Um,
Scuff that first day too.
Yeah.
And so it goes back to my point that I make every single time, I feel like, is the people who want to collab with you will make an effort to always come back to collab, even if
Yes.
they had something going on.
mhm. Yeah.
I'll extend the question. Do people who want to collab with you? Why do they want to collab with you? Do they want to have fun with you on stream? Do they want to collab with you? Do you want to collab with anyone? Do they play the game because they want to play the game with someone? Do they play the game because they want to play with you? Both Ella and Nix, I wanted to collab with them as individuals. So it didn't matter what we did on stream. So I didn't have a plan.
Oh
Um,
yeah. We did not have a plan, but we
I'll,
did it. We made it.
yeah.
yeah. I
Like I'll
had
tell
someone who
you
wanted
right
to play a
now.
specific game. He was like, you
Hmm.
do want to play Apex with me? No, I don't want to play Apex. He can go and play Apex with someone else. So
Yeah, like with Mimic, I've never played a game with Mimic. I'll be honest. It's always been just chattings.
Mhm.
Actually, I almost not don't play game anymore. I do so many stuff that are not games.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I need to play more games. Ah, there was something you wanted to say, Nix, and I think I cut you.
Oh yeah, it was just like all the collabs that like we've had together. The very first one, the one where you said, "Are you free right now?" After we just started talking, I was just like, "Yeah, let's do it." We hopped on stream. We were just doing a just chatting for like 3 hours. Continued to talk afterwards, and then the next one we had again was another just chatting stream. We didn't play a game. Like we thought about playing a game, but we just kind of opted for just chatting. And then after that, it was just kind of like, I think we were just still talking, and then the thought of I was in your stream, and then you're just kind of like, I need a study buddy. I need a study buddy,
Alright.
and then we kind of went into like, you asked me if I wanted to study with you, and I was like, yeah, you know what, why not?
It was a bit more interesting than that. I was like, I knew she was studying at this point. I knew that I was like, oh, I wish I had someone to study with in a video chat, like someone sweet, like a girl, maybe an elf. So I wish there was someone like that around. And Nix is like, oh, I know someone, and I played along. What, you know? Can you contact her with me? Can you tell me who that is?
And that's when I was still on stream, but like I actually texted Mimic in DMs and said like, yeah, I can like if you want, we can study. And Mimic said only on one condition: if we do it with video. And I said, why not?
The real reason is because I wanted to see Nix in real life. That's the secret. I was curious. Mimic being a troll part 2.
Mimic literally just sees me out like with bedhead, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
because
we covered the topic about meeting each other IRL. Like, have you met anybody from online IRL?
Oh, thank you for the stretch. And welcome to the party.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dream. We had so much fun that almost 3 hours ran out.
Yeah, right.
We have like 10 minutes left. And that's how it is. We usually don't cover all the topics.
Yeah, we
Usually
don't normally
5.
cover them all.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But it's gonna stay. Whatever we didn't cover, we'll gonna cover next time. Dream, thank you for the sub. I'm gonna do 10 jumping jacks per usual. Well, in the meantime, ladies, I would like you to tell me thing that you take away from today. Something that you can take to yourself as a VTuber. We're each gonna take like one thing that you think is a great lesson for today.
Want to do one thing this time? Okay.
Yeah. So we can have only 3 and not 9.
Okay.
9.
One, because we normally do 3 takeaways each, but since we have you here today, we'll do one main takeaway. If you were to sum up this whole thing, one main takeaway.
Somebody called sorry. No. I have a collab in 10 minutes.
I think one main takeaway, kind of covers all the topics, is to remember that VTubers are people. Some of them stream as hobbies, some of them stream as a way of business, and that there should be an understanding between the streamer and the follower slash chatter, and that you really should keep in mind not to corner them with your own personal life, and that it's best to remember that yes, you can treat them like a friend, and you can be asking them questions and everything like that, but just remember, you don't want to sit there and corner them. You don't want to sit there and try to push your issues on them, and you get much more out of the stream if you try to let go and try to use the stream as an outlet for yourself, because that's what some of them are using this streaming and being a VTuber is, like myself and others, is that this is our outlet to feel good. So you should use it as an outlet to feel good, not to vent or to just spew all the bad stuff that you're dealing with, but to let it go at the door and enjoy the stream as is.
So I'll sum up as do not corner others with your issues. Nix, what about you?
I think separating hobbies and work is my biggest one. Being able to separate what you do.
Oh no.
Dreams. Jumping jack time.
Thank you. Oh no. Well, I guess we're gonna talk. Well, I'll do 100 jumping jacks here. Thank you so much. Next, can you sum up the?
Yeah, we'll mimic.
Hey, keep talking.
Well, mimic suffers over there with his jumping jacks. How many are you doing, by the way?
110 subs.
Okay, I'll extend my I'll elaborate while you do that.
And I'll think of my takeaway as well because we talk about so many things here. Oh, you know what? I'll sum my stretch. Thank you. I'll sum my takeaway very quickly before that. It's face reveal is good. That's my sum, okay? And I know it doesn't suit everyone. I think face reveal is good. I think it shows people who you are, and it will make the creeps go away, in a way.
Yeah, and it kind of gives people a reminder that you're a person too.
Yeah.
It kind of ties in with the whole remember that the streamer is a person.
Mm-hmm. And like what I was kind of going off of, like, separate your hobbies from work, because when you put them together, you're only just gonna start suffering from your hobbies. And your hobby is meant to be a hobby and not something that's gonna drag you down or make you feel horrible, tired, sluggish. Like, you're doing it because you want to and you want to have fun.
How would you sum it up? 50.
I would say
You broke the stream notification.
3, 4.
if streaming is a hobby, keep it as a hobby.
If streaming is a hobby, keep it like it. Keep it as a hobby.
This makes me want to rethink about having workout redeems on my stream.
Right?
Oh my god, dude, this is so much
I
fun.
was seriously thinking about it. I have like this little weight ball, this little green weight ball, and I was thinking about doing behind arm lifts. You know, where you put it behind your head and lift up. And I was thinking about doing those for each sub, but now I'm thinking,
Dreams is
maybe
like, I
should
can't
do
wait for that.
100. Listen, when I put that thing at the top right corner, I thought nobody's going to sub for that. And every once in a while I get like a resub, so I did 10 jumping jacks, it's nothing. I thought even to increase it to 20. And then sorry, came out of nowhere. 120 of them. That's great, Fitness, thank you so much. We have like 4 minutes, so let's do some. Let's bring back the music. Woo! And let's do some shoutouts here. Ella, what you're up to? What you gonna do after this?
It's my day off, so I don't normally stream, so I don't plan on streaming today. I do have I do stream from my starting work days is Friday to Tuesday. I do plan on doing a Monday collab with Neil, and we are gonna try again to play A Way Out, I believe it's called, the co-op game.
Try again. What happened last time?
I tried last Monday, and her game wouldn't work. Her EA, or is it Epic Games? Her Epic Games, or yeah, it was either EA or Epic Games.
EA,
would not,
EA app.
would
It's
not let her connect her Steam game to it, so it was not letting her play the game.
It's
It was just-
complicated.
yeah, it was just a lot of like scuff. But instead we played Don't Starve together, and that was a lot of fun. She did die 3 times, but after a while, you know, she caught on and was able to survive.
I
Other
feel like
than
doing
that-
this again, but I won't.
Food. Yeah. I'm gonna go out and get some food with my son, and then hang out and probably play some video games. Like I
Let's
always
go.
do.
Nihongo modo. Arigatou gozaimasu. Nixu-chan. Nani o suru tsugu wa tsugi Nixu wa Nani no. What are you up to?
So for the rest of the day,
So-
I'm gonna go work out after this because apparently we're gonna be doing workout routines on my stream sooner or later.
Ikebo!
I'm gonna probably cook lunch for my family, and then I'm actually coming back later tonight at 7 p.m. CST with a collab, and I'm gonna be playing The Forest.
Mori desu ka? Kakkoi.
I love that game, The Forest, by the way.
Yeah, so
I
it's
think I'm attached.
the one before Sons of the Forest, and so I'll be doing The Forest tonight, so that will be fun.
The thing is, I've never played The Forest. I've only played Sons of the Forest. I've watched people play The Forest to the point where it's like, oh, I've played the game. But it is a very good game. It is.
それはニクスをフォローしてください。そしてミミ君は今ブルーピクシーさんとコラボします。ポータル2をプレイします。そしてタロットリーディング。ボイム次のポッドキャストフォックスはラブとライフ。次 next week ニクスとミミ君。
So, yep, the next podcast will be on
Uh,
my channel next week, and we'll most likely also have another guest.
木曜日ですね。Thursday. It's gonna be Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be Thursday.
Thursday, 1 p.m. No, wait.
wait,
It's gonna be
daylight
it's gonna be
savings?
12. It's gonna be 12. It's gonna be 12 p.m. 12 noon. 12
12
p.m.
noon.
GMT. Because
Today?
apparently America and Israel change daylight in different times. It's like a week between them. So
I'm lucky I'm on spring break today, and I have like no obligation, so I'm just like, okay, we can do. I just need to like
Wait.
switch some things around a little bit.
spring break. Do you want to do it like an hour later next week as well?
No, I have spring break this week, and so next week I'm
Gee.
back at school.
She would rather wake up at 4 a.m. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, like it works out on your end, and so like I will accommodate.
I guess.
My schedule is a lot harder to work around, and so I will accommodate.
Bro, I got hit with 4 ads. No!
Oh, no.
Look at face talk. No. I would much rather to wake up at 4 a.m. if I could collab with Mimic. 4 a.m. though. We collabed, Anton, many times in D&D. Why don't people consider D&D a collab? It's a collab for everything. Even chatting with me on stream is a collab. Of course, D&D is a collab.
It's
I'm
collab.
gonna collab with Blue Pixie now. We're going to play Portal 2. We're gonna do a tart reading, and then
Ooh.
in 2 hours, I'm going to Arrow in a Nutshell's channel where we're going to complete, hopefully, Beacon Pines. And I think that's it for today.
I got the one thing I wanted to say, which I did say earlier in the stream. I am planning some big things in the future for my channel. I'm
Ooh.
breaking away in my creativity and just having a lot of fun with it. And for my community, they actually have to look for the clues.
Ooh.
I'm making it a thing where it's going to be very subtle. There's going to be puzzles. There's going to be like little tidbits here and there, and you'll just have to look for them. And hopefully you'll figure them out before the big day comes.
That is so cool. Where are the clues? On your Twitter? On your Discord?
They're going to be everywhere.
Everywhere.
They've
Ooh.
already started. They've
Ooh, so
already started. So
check out Ella for all the clues of mystery.
That would be fun. A little scavenger hunt.
Yeah. And that's it. We hopefully will see you all on the next show where we have a mysterious guest from Nix's side. We're gonna start working on who's gonna be the next guest right away, right, Nix?
Yes.
And that's it. Keep chilling, everyone. Thank you, Dream, for another gifted sub. Let's end this with another jumping session. 2, 3.
You gotta end it.
4,
Gotta end it
5,
with one more.
7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! And that's it for today.
All right, thank you,
ladies,
everyone.
for joining me.
again.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And I'll see you all on the other side I'll be back.
We'll see you guys again next time. Bye bye.
Woo!